Yeah, welcome. Those of you who are on YouTube, welcome on board. You are listening to Citizen AY on YouTube. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed to us. We are grateful for your support. We are grateful for your commitment and your drive, your keenness to get things done, and how you've been supporting us all the while. So yeah, good afternoon to you on TikTok. Vaname, welcome on board. Let me invite Vaname as well, and I'll invite as many people as possible. As soon as I see you on board, I will be inviting you straight away. Those are the very they work with us on this a lot, and others. If you want to speak, we will bring you on board as well. Do let me know if you can hear me. So do give me 1 second. I'll be doing one or two things. I may go quiet for a second or two, but you will hear me talk about this. It is very, very important. So when you're seeing this broadcast, do share. As ever, we need you to understand clearly, in no uncertain times, that do we support any violence. We are for peaceful protest, and we've been advocating for that even before this protest came about. Indeed, one of the things that we are known for, myself in particular, I have organized several protests in the UK right here, peaceful protests, and I've followed the procedure as laid down within the UK government. So I know a thing or two about protest and how we can do that. So I want to make sure that people in Nigeria, after having done my research and a lot of work, I need you to be very, very sure that you have the power to know that you have the power to peacefully protest. And it is very important. We shouldn't allow anybody to misinterpret what the rights you have and try to use that to try and use you to scare you. The government of the day is not meant to scare you. The government of the day is meant to serve you. The government of the day is not meant to scare you. They are meant to serve you. And currently, I'm afraid when the government is saying to the people, oh, you cannot protest, it's going to be, you don't have the right to do so. We don't want you to protest. That is very, very wrong. We cannot accept nor support that. We respectfully say to the government, please reconsider that move. Do not take that kind of a stance. It is not acceptable. People have the right to peacefully protest, and we will demonstrate in detail why that is the case. I welcome on board Vaname, and we're going to be talking some more. So please do share, share, share. It is important that, by the way, I'll just say this quickly. Whilst we are doing this, we know that there's peaceful protests going on in Kenya, in Uganda, in Zimbabwe, in Malawi, in Gambia, in Liberia, in Nigeria, and of course South Africa. And there are more places. We are hearing Tanzania may also be joining. This is telling us that this is not just one nation in Africa. It is widespread. There is a massive discontent with the system of governance that has been imposed on us by the colonials. And as stated before, many of you are aware of what we say on this platform when we say that the colonial system has imposed unjust and unfair constitution on us, particularly as the constitutions are written in foreign languages. What are those key languages? The languages are, of course, in French, in English, and in Portuguese. So those three are the reasons why we are having major problems. And of course, many Africans do not speak any of those languages. So straight away, over 1.4 billion, let's say close to 1.4 billion Africans have had their right to exercise their sovereignty removed from them by the simple fact of the imposition of the fraudulent constitutions written by others who do not have the right to write the constitution for the people of Africa. That is really what we are talking about. And it's important that we understand that part of in all of this. And that is the underlying factor that has caused the deep exploitation of Africans, the exploitation, the enslavement, the colonization, the removal of the power of the people on their own land to exercise their right to participate in their governance, not only, but to hold the government to account. These are all what is happening right across the whole of Africa. So we speak for that, and we are encouraging you to please join us and share that message. So we will be going into detail about that. And of course, one of the things that I've stated on this platform is that you all know, when we talk about this, we say that the major issue is that when people do not know their rights in a language, they cannot participate in their governance. They don't even know their rights in their own language. So we are totally committed to ensuring that all 54 African countries, the people in those countries, are able to demand they are begin to exercise their right to have their constitution in their local language so that they can participate in the process of governance. As you can see now with the current situation in Nigeria, the government still using the constitution in mainly foreign language are saying to the people, you don't have the right to protest. That is not correct. That is absolutely not correct, and we will state the case in due course. But please do share this broadcast. Let us reach many people. We need to go far and wide with this. Nigeria being the most populous nation in Africa, it is important that people get the right access to the right information to help them make informed decisions. And that is what we are trying to ensure that we provide to people in a whole plethora of languages. We have over 350 languages in Nigeria, and we encourage those speaking those languages to begin to participate in this process of translating the constitution from English into our local languages to enable the people within the communities to actively participate in their own governance. It's very, very important. So we are on that vein. We are working for going forward in that vein, and we hope that people will, of course, support what we're doing. And we do appreciate everybody for sharing the broadcast. Please tap, 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 and share the screen. Tap, 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 share to 5, share to 10. Let us reach as many people as possible. We at this time take a minute to salute the fallen heroes of the Gen Zs in Kenya, and we say we salute the comrades in Kenya, the Gen Zs who are taking active action, collective action to hold their governance to account in Kenya. They are showing the rest of Africa the way to do this properly. They are committed. In fact, they took on this role themselves of actually translating the constitution into the local languages to encourage their people to know their rights in their local languages within their community. So we say a salute to all of the Gen Zs in Kenya. We salute them. I know quite a few of them because we are interacting a lot, and they come on this platform. We are really grateful. I can mention a few names. Gloria, Daniel, I think it's I can't remember, Nubia, I think, and a few others that and then the African lady. So many. We interact on a daily basis with a lot of Gen Zs on ground who are on ground in Kenya, and they give us regular updates as to what is happening in Kenya. For that, we are extremely grateful, and we take a moment to remember those comrades of the Gen Zs, the fallen heroes. And I really want to applaud the work that the Gen Zs in Kenya have done. They have prepared the system in such a manner that they have a record of everybody who is in the protest. So if anybody goes missing in any part of the country in Kenya, they know who has gone missing, they know where, they have their names, they have their addresses, and they actually have a GoFundMe that is being used to actually prepare for burials where the unfortunate and unwanted situation happens. And I'm afraid it has happened in quite a few cases where this has happened, and they've had to take control in that way. So I want to salute their tenacity, their planning, their organization in doing this, focused on the sole aim of empowering the people to begin to exercise their powers of sovereignty over their governance. You are the sovereign. I need you to understand that. You are a sovereign. You have authority, you have power. In fact, I will go as to state categorically that on the African continent, we have 1.4 billion sovereigns. Yes, you heard me right. We are sovereigns on the African continent. And the best way for us to be able to use our sovereignty is to have our constitution, the current constitution, to be translated into local languages so that people can understand what it is and how to use those laws. And ultimately, the ultimate goal that we want across the whole of Africa is for the people of Africa to now rewrite the constitution in each of the 54 nations to suit their needs. It has to meet the needs of the African people on the African continent, not those who imposed these fraudulent constitutions on us. For too long, our rights as sovereigns has been swept aside, and in its place they've replaced with it, they put religion in our mind, religions of Islam and Christianity, to prevent us from exercising our collective right as sovereigns on our land, to ensure that we enjoy the benefit of the resources that rightly belongs to us, that is in our land. We say enough. We do not accept this any longer. So we are committed to this drive, this lifelong drive of empowering our people in every community to know that they have the power to make a decision, to hold their government to account, to begin to participate in the process of government, whatever language they speak in that community. Because the best way for them to do that is to have the constitution in their mother tongue. So it removes the need to go in to have to learn about your rights in any school or in any, you learn it from birth. You learn your rights within your community, and you are automatically able to stand up for those rights. This applies to all parts of Africa. That's the vision that we have, and it will materialize. We will get people, we will have many more allies and supporters on the African continent. And there are many people. This is not just about Citizen AY or Vaname or Problem Solving Coach. This is about the entire African continent, to empower us. For far too long, our resources has been taken off our hands because they have ensured that they've put a block between our rights and we, the citizens. And at the same time, they've been able to truncate the wealth of Africa as a result of that outside Africa, and denying Africans our inalienable right to use our resources to benefit our people. I know what I'm saying is long-winded, but I hope you can get some sense of idea of where I'm going with this. So I need you all to please help along, join us. As you're watching this, I'd like you to subscribe to us on TikTok, on YouTube. Help us grow the platform. A quick one. Welcome to those of you who are on YouTube. You are, of course, watching Citizen AY, the platform where we speak truth to power. We would like you to subscribe to us. Here's what you need to do, those of you who are on YouTube. You can go ahead and subscribe. Hit notification button, give us thumbs up, and help us reach more people. We are truly grateful for your support and your continued sharing of our broadcast. So the best way we can help us, of course, is to subscribe to us. We welcome super chats, we welcome gifts for those of you who are on TikTok, and also being able to share the live. It's really important that we do that. Hi there, knowledge is power. Thank you very much. Welcome, and I'm really glad to have you on board with us. Greetings. So I'm gonna just say greetings, and I'll greet everybody. I'll try and mention names as I'm going along. But here today, if there are any if any of my Gen Zs who are in the house, let me know. I'll bring you up so we can get updates from you. We can all get updates from you about what is going on in Kenya right now. If you have anybody, if we have any Ugandan in the house also, we want to hear from you. You see, this is what we need to begin to do. We have to begin to communicate and really empower ourselves with knowledge right across the whole of Africa about what is happening in different parts of Africa. It is our right to know these things. You see, the reason why I'm saying this is because it has been found out by the Gen Zs that what they call the national parks in Kenya has been cleverly used in such a way to be areas where they have a high concentration of resources, of natural resources that is meant to be for Africans. But because it's called national park, the people have been excluded from that. In those national parks, the Gen Zs recently found, through by the accident of the spilling of a chemical used in cleaning gold in Kenya, they found out that in the national reserves, so-called natural reserves, in there they have gold and other precious metals, precious resources that has been for years taken out on the quiet by the colonials. You see, we need to begin to know as Africans. It must be our personal business to know what is happening in every single part of Africa. You see, the division that the lines that they give to that they impose on Africa has separated us from each other. And in fact, they have made it impossible for us to interact. You need visas to be able to go from one country to the next. You need to be able to, you have to go and you can't go straight across this way. You cannot move freely across Africa. You cannot trade among yourselves. The first people you trade with are the colonials. These are all means of division and keeping us from really knowing what's going on around us and being able to take appropriate, informed decisions about what is happening and how we are going to deal with it as citizens of that continent, as sovereigns of that continent of Africa. We say no more. I would encourage us all to please make sure we keep abreast of information. Our sole focus as Africans must be to know every single part of Africa, what is happening and why it's happening and who is there, who is moving what to where and why. Because it is our right as sovereigns to know these things. They have filled our minds with useless information. When you're reading about the Bible, which is a pie in the sky, or the Quran, which is a pie in the sky, you do not know that in the very people who are taking the resources to go and print those Bibles are taking it from your land. We need to wake up. We must wake up as Africans. So this program and others like me, we encourage you, please start listening to and tuning into African platforms. That is where you will get the real news about what is happening on the African continent. You never hear the press talking about what is going on, the mainstream press talking about what's going on in Congo or Djibouti or in Mali or in even in Nigeria. You know, all of the war-torn areas in Africa. You notice suddenly that the news is silent. In Congo in particular, 90 million people have been unalived. And the world press, the so-called mainstream media that have tried to give us the impression that they are the source to go for news. They've kept Africans in the dark about what is happening in Africa. No lie. You can go and check what I'm saying. So it is our responsibility now to take this on collectively. We need to take this on. We need to share news, the good news. And I will always say to you, the man of the moment, the man of the hour, Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso. Any news that we hear about this young man, we must protect him spiritually, physically, social media wise. We must make sure all the positive news that he thinks it does, it reverberates across the whole of Africa. You see, we're sending out these positive signals, vibrations. We're sending out vibrations. And when we say this positive, great news about the young man like Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso, Assimi Goita of Mali, and General Chiani of Niger, when we are spreading that on the African continent, we are sending out vibrations that is coming straight from our ancestors, that's waking us up. You see, all the puppet leaders, they will be replaced because we are now sending the vibrations straight from our ancestors to the soil. We are reconnecting. We are reconnecting. So we need to begin to watch the kind of news we are taking in. We must know about all parts of Africa as Africans. It is our responsibility. Europeans can tell you what is going on because they listen to the news about Europe. They can tell you what's going on. But if you ask an African, what is going on in any part of Africa? Oh, I don't know. But they can tell you everything about the Bible. They can tell you everything about the Quran. They can tell you all that. But when you ask them what is happening in their backyard, in the nature reserve, Kruger Nature Reserve in South Africa, do you know what's happening there? Do you know how much resources are in there? Africans don't know that. And it's because of the psychological, the colonial mentality, the colonial indoctrination that we've gone through. Now we need to cast that aside, but we need to do it collectively together. So I'm urging you, as you're watching the broadcast, make sure you're sharing it. Please subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Help us grow the platform. We really do need your support. The task we are taking on is enormous, but we are up to that task. I want you to know that. We are up to that task. The time is now, like Vanna says. I'm going to bring Vanna back. Sorry about that. I've just been really, I'm in the moment. I'm getting a download. When I'm doing this, when I'm in the moment like this, I'm getting a download from our ancestors. And I want that to flow. This is not me talking to you. This is a message from our ancestors that we are in the time, we are in the age where we wake up. Let me pause for a second. Vanna May, welcome aboard. Let's hear from you. Go ahead. Ashe.
Just all good things, only good wishes to them. We're
Ashe.
protecting them in our own way through spirituality. So this is
Yes.
what, yeah, yeah. This is our time. Nothing is stopping. We're doing it. We're
Ashe.
doing it.
Ashe.
And the people are finding out that, yeah, yeah, they're finding out we can do it. This is our time. We're not alone. We
Ashe.
cannot do it without the ancestors. Just hold on. Know that.
Ashe. Ashe.
And
Thank you.
we can only be unalive one time. But if
Ashe.
I'm unalive for something that will give freedom to millions, it's a good unaliving.
Ashe. Yes. Yes. I'm remembering the lady. Oh, my emotion just catches me right now, but I'm going to be in control. I'm remembering the lady, the Haitian empress, who, when the French were going to unalive her and her husband was crying, she stood up. She said, "Be unalive like a man. Do not shed a tear." And she stood up and they unalived her with pride because she was fighting for our people. She was fighting for our people. So she knew the cause she was for was the right one. It was a worthy cause. And I always remember that. Toussaint Louverture also was the man, of course. We know what they did to him. We know the story and all of that. There's more to that story. Like my brother, the Haitian brother, was saying. We've been told a lot of untruths. But I want you to hold on to this. We are in an age where we are making things happen. We are the very engines of this earth. What we want to happen through our awakeness and awareness is what will happen. We have been allowing others to control and manipulating our thoughts and our feelings. Now we must re-engage, connect with our ancestors, and we will get back to our natural position. It is time. Please join me. Let us go ahead. Ivana, thank you so much. One Man TV, I think. Welcome on board. Let's hear from you. Thank you very much. Please do continue to tap and share and give us likes and help us grow the platform. We really appreciate you. I'm going to go into detail about Nigeria, but I'm just telling you the background to how we got to where we are as Africans. One Man TV, let's hear from you. Go ahead. Can you hear me? One Man TV, are you there? Let me unmute you. Just in case you are muted. I'm going to unmute you. Okay, I've sent you to unmute. Can you unmute yourself? Wait, good. I think you. Can you hear me on One Man TV? I can't see you. Ollie, good. Okay, I'll bring Ollie. One Man TV, can you hear me? If you are not, I'm going to let Ollie have a word, say a word or two before I proceed. Welcome on board, Ollie. Ollie is a great friend of the house, and it's a pleasure to have you here. What would you like to say? Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm on annual leave, so I'm just trying to relax my brain. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic.
I guess you're talking about the protests in Nigeria,
That's
right?
correct. And the emphasis really is to make sure people understand that you have the right to peacefully protest according to the ruling of the court back in 2003 when AMPP took the IGP to court, and the IGP do not have the right to demand any permit from anybody. So that's what I wanted to see.
Even apart from the local law in Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
across the globe,
Mm-hmm.
every human, it is our fundamental human rights
Thank you.
to protest.
Mm-hmm.
We have a right to freedom. We have a
Yes.
right to expression
Yes.
or speech.
Mm-hmm.
So long as it's not
Violent.
physically destroy government
Mm-hmm.
properties,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we all have a right, every human being on the surface of the earth.
Yes.
If we all pay attention to the human rights laws or the Human Rights Act, it's boldly written there. People just need to read and be informed. Okay?
Indeed.
Although I don't agree with some of the things in the Human Rights Act because,
Yes.
like you know, my Pan Africanist will not allow me. And apart from that, obviously, I work in the system. I know how the system rolls.
Yes.
I know that what was written is not to the benefit of we the black, we the Jujus, right?
Everybody pay attention. Pay attention. Everybody pay attention to what Ollie is saying. Pay attention, please. Pay attention. Carry on. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, first and foremost, the protests in Nigeria, I'm surprised that people have waited this long to want to protest.
Mm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then we are long overdue the protest.
Mm.
And I remembered when they did the NSAS,
Yeah.
whether for the right reason or for the wrong reason,
Yeah.
There were question marks around the police brutality. There was question mark around the governance. And even when we were doing the election, I don't call it election in Nigeria. I
It's
call it
not.
selection.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's all selecting. They're selecting. There's no election anywhere.
No.
Our vote does not count.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's all about selecting.
Yes.
And with regards the guys that package themselves as presidential candidates,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm being entirely honest,
Mm-hmm.
none of them, if we want to be honest with ourselves, none of the guys, not even including the golden boy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
none of them deserve to be around the politics of power.
Mm-hmm. That's the reality. That's the reality.
Unfortunately, the Nigeria we found ourselves today, or the Nigeria we know today, has been divided by tribalism, religion, gender, sexuality. So many. Name the division. All the divisions are there.
Mm-hmm.
It is even that bad that we don't even have a social class in Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
because anybody can become rich and anybody can become poor.
Yes.
There is no safety net.
Mm-hmm.
The social class in Nigeria.
So true.
And with regards to protests, I've been following the so-called media.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I don't believe we have media house in Nigeria,
Yep.
because it's all control, it's all been bots.
Precisely. Precisely.
Unfortunately, our media has become the so-called media. I
Mm-hmm.
won't say our media. The so-called media
Yes.
has become the bagpipe of the piper.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And we found that even the news, and I'll break it down why I said the bagpipe of the piper.
Yes.
It's not even about the news of what's going on in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
Our media has been gone are the days of if you're Nigerian and probably in your 40s,
Yeah.
you probably remember 40 and above. You probably remember the likes of Senior Brown,
Yes.
the likes of Ruben and Mr. Opia, when our NTA used to be NTA.
Mm-hmm.
That's the NTA is National.
Television Authority.
You know, when we used to have the unfiltered news
Yeah.
that was centered and focused on Nigeria.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, what we have is news that projects the West over Nigeria.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't look at what is happening in our local
Direct vicinity.
in our local landscape.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we're looking at the protest, there are two things about the protest that is catching my attention.
Yeah.
I think people are not actually talking about the real issues
No.
when we're looking at the protest.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I'm saying this is, I was speaking to a friend this morning. Firstly, the friend was picking my brain
Mm.
about my thoughts about Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, when we're looking at governance does not start from Aso Rock.
Yeah.
It starts from the man or the woman that wants to be a counselor,
Mm-hmm.
right? The grassroots.
Exactly.
It
Grassroots.
starts from the local government, chairman. It starts from who wants to be the governor.
Mm-hmm.
It starts from who wants to be the senator.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the different arms of government.
Yes.
And what we have in Nigeria right now, and over the years, is whoever wants to be the governor picks his boy, and I use the word boy as in the phrase.
That's correct.
His boy
That's correct.
to be the counselor,
Mm-hmm.
and then he picks his boy to be the local government chairman.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, him as the governor, the power breakers
Yeah.
in Nigeria picking in order to ensure that the central power is not ruffled.
Exactly. Exactly.
On paper, it looks like we have two political parties, or whatever amount of political parties we have. It looks like we have APC and PDP.
Mm-hmm.
And I think any Nigerian that thinks APC and PDP are different, that person is the most foolish of all.
They've been played. They've been truly well and truly played.
APC, PDP, Labour, whatever party you say you have,
Mm-hmm.
they all wine and dine on the same table.
Mm.
None of the political parties that we have in Nigeria,
Yeah.
none of the politicians that we have in Nigeria, right? None of them have the best interest of Nigeria at heart.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Everybody is there to
Yeah.
or high art tribe.
Exactly.
It is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
So
that's
true.
why when they get there, the first thing you see, the local government, the councillor, that is the list of the
Yeah.
political card.
Mm-hmm.
You find out that they are building, the first thing you get there, the first 1 year, they built mansions
Yeah.
and nobody is asking questions.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Very
always
true.
ask a question. I always ask a question. The security fund that is given to the governors, what is happening to that money? Nobody
Mm-hmm.
is asking questions.
Mm-hmm.
Because before we say we are going to meet, I mean, I'm not a fan of Tinubu. I can't even stand him.
No.
Okay? But I can't, okay, let me use my state as an example. My state of origin, Ekiti State.
Okay.
Ekiti State, they claim, is a fountain of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Me that I'm talking, my uncle, you cannot study African philosophy without reading about my uncle.
Okay.
He's prominent in the African philosophy.
Okay.
And I come from a house in Ekiti State, like you know. It's very rare that you will not see a professor in the
Yes.
family.
Exactly.
And in my own case, I come from a family where we have both maternal and paternal side of my family.
Yes.
We have 21 professors and
Mm-hmm.
still counting.
Wow. Wow.
Okay? And
Wow.
yet, you will not believe that that same Ekiti State,
Yeah.
roads in Ekiti State is appalling.
Yeah. It is.
I was telling someone the fact that Fayose could actually, Ayodele Fayose could actually become a governor in Ekiti State
Yeah.
is a slap on every Ekiti person.
Yep. Yep.
Because when you look at education, when you look at development, Ekiti State has bitumen.
Yeah.
You know, bitumen that they use in building roads.
Yep.
Ekiti State has bitumen. Ekiti State has land.
Yes.
You know, there's no part, you know, Nigeria is so blessed. There is nowhere you turn to in Nigeria that does not have mineral resources.
Yes.
And they have it in abundance. It's not even a sprinkle.
Yeah, exactly.
They have it in
Abundance.
Go and look at all the states. None of them is developed.
Mm. Mm.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
Look at education. You know, I was quite surprised. Well, not surprised, but I think it's actually disgusting, or it's an eyesore that our educational system. I have a couple of friends who hold schools in Nigeria, and I was surprised when we were having a conversation and they said, we're talking about school curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, okay. So what did they teach us? Because I remember one of my cousin's child. In schools in Nigeria was talking about Rosa Parks, and I was like, how is Rosa Parks applicable to you in Nigeria?
Mm-hmm.
Where you have Milayo Ransom Kutsi,
Exactly.
where you have Amina, you know, how is Rosa? I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, for my black American, or my African American friend,
Yes.
Rosa Parks obviously is important to your history.
Exactly.
But in Nigeria, Rosa Parks is not applicable.
No. No.
Okay?
Mm.
So I asked that question, and you know what I was told? My friends are own schools, and I'm talking of like big schools in Nigeria, like reputable schools.
Yes.
And I was told, my friend said, he said, do you know what we do when we build our schools or when we have schools? And I said, no. He said, what happens is you ask parents, when at the point of admission into the school,
Yeah.
you ask the parents, where do you want your child? Where are you aiming for your child to end education? And the parent would say Canada. So if it's Canada, they use the syllabus of Canada. They use the Canadian syllabus.
Oh my goodness me.
If you're looking at UK, they ask you, okay, where in UK? Is it Scotland or is it England, Wales, or Northern Ireland?
Yeah.
You have to say, and then they create a curriculum around that child.
Oh my gosh.
If it's America, you know. So what I'm trying to say in essence is, from the roots, from primary school, brain drain is already encouraged.
Mm. Mm.
Okay? So
Wow.
that's why you find that some of the children, they're going to school in Nigeria. They know the history in America. That is not applicable to them.
No.
They know those history. They know the English history. They know the history of Britain.
Yeah.
They know medieval history. And yet, they are schooling in Nigeria. They were born in Nigeria. But not the history of Nigeria, they don't know.
They don't know. Fundamental.
Okay? The curriculum
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
was beautiful learning our curriculum.
Mm-hmm.
Our curriculum was local to us.
Exactly.
You know, just like we read, what's the name? Just like we read the Shakespeare books.
Yeah.
We also read Chiki and the River.
Exactly.
Chima's book.
Chino Achebe.
You know,
Yeah. Ngugi
we
Watingo.
read the local, yeah, we read the bottle Leopard. You know, if you remember, sir,
Yeah.
the days of Macmillan,
Yes.
as we were going, Biola and Halali did not look back.
No.
You know,
Yes.
we read all of that.
Mm.
And the tourism around Biola and Halali was applicable.
Mm-hmm.
You could see that they went to Kaduna, they
Yeah.
went to Warri, they went, it's applicable.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
when our children start learning about Rosa Parks in Nigeria,
Hmm.
and you're wondering why we have Gen Zs who are not in touch with their history,
Yeah.
who are busy misbehaving on social media,
Mm.
okay? Now, while we're growing up, when we studied history,
Mm-hmm.
we understood how our government came to be.
Mm-hmm.
We understood what brought about some of the things they were telling us were lies.
Yeah.
But at least we understood what brought about free education.
Yeah.
by Awolowo.
Yeah.
We understood the regional government system.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
now, what do we have? Dino Malaye turned up and became a senator
Yeah.
in Nigeria.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You have them, there's a lady in Kogi State that
Mhm.
became a senator and everybody's applauding her.
Yeah.
I know her one-on-one. And I was like,
Akpoti, you're talking about Nashasha.
become a senator.
Are you talking about Natasha Akpoti?
It is nowhere me and you will talk.
Yeah.
The same. Just
Okay.
that story.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
So, this particular senator that became a senator in Kogi State used
Yeah.
to live in my house.
Yeah. Wow.
We'll talk later.
You will do.
But the thing is this:
Mm-hmm.
when you look at the people who are the faces of our government,
Yes,
it speaks volume.
it does.
Okay, look at Peter Obi. Let's come to Peter Obi.
Mm.
Peter Obi was a governor in Anambra State for 8 years.
Mm.
Go and look at the road in Anambra State. Just ordinary road. Don't even look at anything.
No.
Just look at the connecting roads. Okay? Look at Niger Delta.
Yeah.
There's mass production of oil in Niger Delta, crude oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Niger Delta is an eyesore.
That's correct. That's correct.
And my heart bleeds with Niger Delta because I'm speaking, I was a beneficiary of the Niger Delta scholarship up to my
Wow.
university days.
Wow.
I didn't get it from back door.
No.
In those days, I went to school in Warri. We had the Shell scholarship.
Yeah.
We had NMPC scholarship. And for you to maintain that scholarship, you always have to score first to third.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And our names were published on Observer newspaper. If you remember the good old days
Yeah.
of Observer.
Yeah. Good journalism back then.
Yes, I was on the scholarship of Shell from my GSS 1
Mm-hmm.
till I finished secondary school.
Yeah.
And in university, I benefited from the Niger Delta scholarship
Mm-hmm.
based on merit. I didn't need to know anybody.
No. No. No.
Okay? So when we are talking about our protest,
Mm-hmm.
the people who are saying they want to protest, the question is, what are we protesting? We need to prioritize. What is it that we're protesting about?
Exactly.
Is
Exactly.
it the cost of living?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it bad governance?
Mhm.
Or is it the process of electing governance?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or electing government official?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are okay, if you go and make noise now, from reading from online and social media and whatever, in fact, Tinubu, they are saying, okay, they should wait. I think his daughter said they should wait 3 years down the line. This morning, they said petrol is 1,300 naira
Yes.
per liter.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
But the question is, okay, they want to protest. They are saying they shouldn't protest.
Mm-hmm.
The government is trying to sort things out.
Yeah.
But the question is this: I've not seen anywhere on social media. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I've not seen anywhere that they prioritize.
Mm-hmm.
What are we protesting about? Is it the cost of? If it's cost of living, the cost of living is across the globe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and what we are finding out, like in the Western country where we live.
Yes.
What we are finding out is currently in the
Mm-hmm.
The election spoke. And what did they do? Labour, in short, not just Labour. Yes, Labour won.
Yeah.
But if you understand UK politics,
Yes.
you would not have expected the likes of Reform Party
Yeah.
to gain ground.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
You would not have expected the likes of Green Party to gain ground.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that means even the Labour that won in the UK, they know that their future is not secure.
No. Exactly.
Because people are asking questions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, for Nigeria, those of us, those
Exactly.
people that say they want to protest,
Exactly.
have we going to start talking about the process of
Mm-hmm.
governance?
Mm-hmm.
How did these people get into governance?
Yeah.
Who are the people? Why are these people being elected or being selected? Okay?
Good question.
Because if you bring it back to Kenya,
Yeah.
yes, Kenya, we saw that Kenya protested. Yeah, their president did not leave, but there was adjustment to the way things are done.
Yes, that's correct.
And
That's
that
correct.
president now understand that it is not business as
Usual.
usual.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay?
Mm.
So, yeah. So in wrapping up, I think we all need to sit down and for us to protest, we need to ask ourselves critical questions. Don't just go with the wave of the moment.
Mm.
We need to be very clear. What are we protesting about?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Oli. Wow. Very, very detailed explanation telling us the times when things were functioning to now when things clearly are not functioning. And please, I'll be bringing you back again in between. And the questions he asked is right. What are we protesting about? One of the things I'd like to say is to say to people, look, okay, if we're going to protest, please let's make it one very important point: failure of governance, lack of accountability. Put it on your poster. No accountability, so that we now have a drive. Yeah, so we all know that the governance is not accountable. So I've been saying that in my broadcast the last few days. No accountability. Without accountability, you cannot have a good economy, because you are not holding anybody to account. So I think that's where we need to start, to be honest. Then we start talking about the infrastructures, placards showing bad roads, say bad roads, no hospital, no water, no light, no schools. Those placards now, they are the product of the bad governance, the product of lack of accountability. So I think lack of accountability should be something on the placard. No accountability by our government. Something we should do in that way. Let me pause for a second. Let's hear from Miss Linda LJ. And of course, please, anybody else who wants to come in and chip in, do come in. I do apologize for those who came on and left. I'll bring you back again. Linda, welcome on board. Let's hear from you. You're welcome.
Good morning. Well, it's almost afternoon
Yes,
here.
it is. Yes.
I'd like to just listen for a bit
Okay.
and hear what people are saying
Good.
about it, because I've been in other lives this morning
Mm-hmm.
where the only thing they're talking about
Mm-hmm.
is pretty much how to disrupt
Well,
the demonstration.
well,
So they keep talking about other people coming in
mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
are not a part of the protest,
Mm-hmm.
about leadership sending other people in.
Yes.
So I don't even think most people that were in the live actually knew the purpose of
Mm-hmm.
the demonstration, because no one talked about what it is that's needed
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
from the government.
Exactly.
One talked about accountability. Nobody talked about roads or lights or
Mm-hmm.
anything
Mm-hmm.
for the citizens.
Mm.
They simply repeated over and over about what could happen, what if this goes on, what
Mm-hmm.
if vandalism.
Mm-hmm.
So they were so focused, hyper focused
Yeah. Yeah.
on disruption.
Mm.
So
Mm.
nobody was answering the
The
questions
fundamental
I kept
questions.
asking.
Mm.
What do you want?
Yeah.
If the government says, okay, I'm going to talk to you, what do you want?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody even thought about what they want.
No. No. No.
So I've been typing it in here that you want monthly meetings
Mm-hmm.
and accountability
Thank you. Thank you.
to start.
Thank you.
Because at some point you're going to also want them to make some changes to that constitution.
Exactly.
But you also want people
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
some better roads,
Mm-hmm.
some stable electricity,
Exactly.
some water,
Mm-hmm.
some
Mm-hmm.
safety and security. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when it goes dark at night, if
Exactly.
you're out on the street, if I'm here
Mm-hmm.
and the lights go out at night, it's not so safe.
Exactly.
That is an ideal cover for
For
criminal activity. But if
exactly.
the electricity is not stable, it just goes off and on anytime.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's it's another part of the electricity thing is how can you effectively run a business
Exactly. Exactly. Um.
when you may or may not have electricity?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there are things that people need to be talking about
Mm-hmm.
that can be discussed with the leaders, starting with monthly meetings
Exactly.
and accountability.
Thank you so
It's
much.
one step at a time.
Yes. Yes. Wow. Linda, listen, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I have to really applaud what Linda just said. And of course, you heard what Vanna said at the beginning of the broadcast and what Ollie said. Linda's touching on very important points. And you know what? Linda is in the US. She has been following what is happening on the African continent. And she wants to see a better Africa. And when that begins to materialize, we welcome her because she's invested emotionally, psychologically, physically in seeing the betterment of Africa. That is the kind of thing that I want to see Africans inculcate in our thinking from here on. We've been so distracted by many other nonsense. We need to really focus on what we want for Africa. A functioning Africa will benefit all Africans. That should be our focus. So accountability, of course, should be like this. It should be glaring in front of everybody. We demand accountability, not only in Nigeria, in the whole of Africa. All government officials must be accountable, and we must effect that change by holding them accountable as sovereigns. Remember, we are sovereigns, we have authority, and we have power. And she touched on something from this protest. What must happen? It must be ultimately the monthly meetings, and I'll talk more about that. But let's go to Chief T99. Welcome aboard. What would you like to say? Only I'll come back to you. Let me just get Chief T99 a moment to say something. Chief T99, what would you like to say? Go ahead. Welcome on board. Well, how do you see the protest? Yeah. Good afternoon.
Yeah, the thing, like Miss Lady something, I
Yeah.
cannot even pronounce it.
Linda.
What she trying to say is, okay, Linda. What she trying to say about how we hold these guys accountable? We cannot hold these guys accountable. We have to overhaul the system.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Agreed. Agreed. You're right.
Roti said something that look at the crop of people we are having in our leadership space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Trust me, the person that we have as a governor in my own state,
Mm-hmm.
I cannot even imagine that kind of person
Mm-hmm.
leading any civilized group.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You get?
Okay. So, whilst we're saying that, I don't want to focus too much on the problems. What do you see as a possible solution to this? That everybody coming on, we need you to really be thinking. When you come on the platform and you're talking, we want to hear solutions from you because we have those solutions. We need to really, look at that. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear from you.
Yeah, the solution for me is how we can educate sufficient number of our people
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and chase these guys away.
Okay.
We're not going to get it through. We're not going to get it through ballot
Mm-hmm.
because of the kind of people we have now.
Yeah,
You see what?
that's what Ollie said. That's what Ollie said in the broadcast as well. The politics is not really free and fair. It's a selection. So you're right. Go ahead. Yeah. So we need awareness. Is that what you're saying? We need awareness.
But the people, because now they have miseducated these people
Mm-hmm.
that they cannot even think. Well, you see people coming here to defend them. So
Mm-hmm.
how can we make these people understand that you are a victim?
Mm. Mm. Okay. Okay.
These victims, they are coming here to fight for their oppressor, for
Yeah.
their slave masters.
Yeah. It's like a Stockholm syndrome. you run to the very people that are actually harming you for safety and security, and forgetting that they're actually the ones who caused you to be in that situation in the first place.
Exactly. And
Mm.
another thing, we cannot tell people how to how to cry when they get hit or get beaten.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because now, only said we should come in a way that when we want to protest, we should come with something like
Mm-hmm.
this is what we want.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Millions of Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
even Dangote is protesting in his own interest.
Mm-hmm.
He has his interest. He's protesting. You see what he has been doing
Yes, it is. Yes,
on
yes,
on the media all the
yes,
time.
yes.
So Nigerians, everyone should come outside and talk what they want. That's why the protest does not have a face.
Okay.
They
Yeah.
just end bad governance, but
Mm-hmm.
there are more to this.
Exactly. Exactly.
Chief, can I ask you a question?
Yes,
What is
ma'am.
your suggestion on how to improve the current condition? We know there's all kinds of problems. We know that there may be obstacles, and we hope that people can use critical thinking. Because if you like
You
to
let him finish talking.
Hang on. Hang on. Hang on.
Please let him finish talking.
Hold on. Hold on. Vanna. Wait. Hold on. Hold on. 1 second.
Finish talking.
Yeah. 1 second. 1 second, Vanna.
Let him finish talking.
He will. He will. He will.
Let him finish talking.
Okay, Vanna. Wait. Wait.
Talking. We'll
I'm gonna, guys. We can't do. We're not doing this again now. We're not doing this again. Let's stop this now. Let him. Okay, Vanna. Lady, just ask a question.
if there's any suggestion.
Yeah, go ahead. Just quickly ask a
What can
question.
be done, Chief? What can be done?
Yeah.
Can you repeat the question, please?
Yeah.
What
Exactly.
can be done to improve the current conditions?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, first of all, the condition is very bad, and how we can improve it, we don't have the men, the guys who are in power, they don't have any form of human sympathy or emotion or any kind of nationhood love. They don't love
Okay.
this country enough
Yeah.
to build to listen to the people.
Please, can I?
So
1 second. 1 second. Chief.
1 minute.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Say that, and I'll bring all in because it's very important. But go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So these guys, you cannot engage them. They don't have your time. They do their things with impunity. They believe you cannot do nothing
Mm-hmm.
because they have weaponized poverty enough that the victim will fight me. That I am fighting for this victim, but they will send this victim to fight me.
Yeah.
So you can bring Oli.
Okay.
So what's your suggestion to stop this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to overhaul the system.
Overhaul the system. Okay. All right. So overhaul the system. Thank you very much for that. Okay. I'll come back and ask a bit more question about that. But Oli, go ahead, chip in. Then I'll come back to Chief T99. A- After this, we'll be doing 3 minutes per people per speaker. 3 minutes. Okay. Lady Linda, can you put that on for everybody from here on? 3 minutes. Thank you very much. Go ahead. Okay, Oli, go ahead. Oli, go ahead.
If I get what you're saying,
Yes.
if I get what you're saying correctly, yes, I understand. I think you're still highlighting the problem. These guys are not listening. They're not this. They're not that. But I also could get where Lady Linda,
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Yes.
Sorry if I didn't get your name right. I think I can also see where you're coming from, and I think obviously because we both live in a Western country, you can't just go out and just protest for the fun of protesting. You must have a clear goal. And from what I was saying earlier, the
Mhm.
clear goal is demanding accountability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mhm.
And accountability, we could demand that through the structure.
Mm-hmm.
So, because if you go out, like right now, like what Lady Linda was saying, I've listened to some of the live, whatever, live shows I've kind of came across some.
Mm-hmm.
What they're saying, they don't even have a clear picture. They're just talking randomly,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? For you to demand, these people that got in power, they didn't arrive in power suddenly. A structure brought them to power, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's Tinubu that is in power today. Structure brought them to power.
Mhm.
Look at even the last
Mm-hmm.
and they've been going about the protest. Today, it's actually shameful that some people, some women, right,
Mm-hmm.
are in Abuja with
Mm-hmm.
placard
Mm-hmm.
saying that nobody should protest.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that they've been paid.
Yeah.
So there's nothing new. There's nothing that they're doing that is new.
Mm.
Okay? But when you demand accountability, you can't have a local government, you can't have a councillor
No.
that is not accountable to you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't have a local government chairman that is not accountable to you.
Okay.
Look at the Senate. The Senate is filled up with governors who failed as governors, but they are now retired in the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
They are not sitting in the Senate. The Senate is not like a retirement home.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Tinubu came to power. All
Mhm.
Tinubu said is he made two statements. He said renewed hope, but he's not telling you how he's going to renew that hope.
Mm-hmm.
Then he said a minoko, which in English means it is my turn.
Turn. Yeah.
It is your turn for what?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay? But nobody asked those questions. Instead, people were divided. And what they've done, because they don't want to encourage accountability,
Yeah.
they refuse tribalism.
Yeah.
They
Ollie,
refuse
so
gender
Ollie,
division.
1 second. You got to be few more minutes, like half a second or so. Can you tell us what you think as well that we can do? Thank you. Ollie.
It's demanding for accountability.
Okay,
That's what
good.
I'm saying.
Okay, good, good, good.
And that is strictly what it has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Without ethnicity, without religiousness,
Mm-hmm.
just demanding. How do you want it to be done? Is
Mm-hmm.
it through the overhaul of the INEC?
Mm-hmm.
Is it through the overhaul of the process
Okay,
of electing a candidate?
okay.
Because to elect candidates in Nigeria, you need to have the form that is in millions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
the poor man who has the willingness
Mm.
to
1 second. Let her finish. Let her finish quickly. Ollie, just unmute her for a second so she can finish that. Then I'll go to the next person. So Ollie, go ahead. Sorry, we just the 3 minutes came up and the timer stops you. So quickly, just wrap that up there.
all right. So, like I said, the accountability should come without tribalism,
Okay.
without financial discrimination.
Okay.
Because if you look at how much it is to buy the form,
Yeah.
the candidacy form, it's
Yeah.
a million.
And people cannot afford that. You're right. You're right. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Everybody, next person. So Ollie, thank you very much. We're just doing the 3 minutes because there's a lot of people coming on, and I'm conscious I want as many to speak up. But you're right. So what you said was demanding for accountability. So thank you very much. I'll come back to you again. So Chief T99, I'm going to quickly come back to you.
Can I say something briefly about that accountability?
Okay. Yeah.
Right now, today, we're having an opportunity to come up with various different solutions.
Yes.
So, being accountable is one, but I personally think, Chief, that having the meetings, talking about what the people want
Yes.
with the politicians,
Mhm.
gives them the opportunity to
Exactly.
try to rectify the mistakes of the past.
Yeah.
Now, I understand about the overhaul because if they won't do it, that's next.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So good point. Very good point. Very good point. Yeah. So Chief T99. So you've heard what Ollie said. She says demanding for accountability. You said overhaul, and I think it's the same thing you're talking about essentially. Um, just before I go, what would you timer again for me? Can you put timer on Chief T99 because we everybody 3 minutes, 3 minutes, so we allow the smooth flow of things. So Chief T99, what?
Okay, Chief, it's your turn.
Yeah. So just yeah, in a few words, tell us what you think.
When I said we have to overhaul the system, is because I know the institutions who are supposed to make these changes when the people come out to demand for it have been captured.
Okay.
We don't have any institution that works.
Okay. Okay.
We saw it.
Mm.
Look at the police. Look at the army.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Look at the judiciary.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the Senate.
Yes.
These are people who the people like should get help from.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys are even fighting the people that hey, nobody can come out and protest.
Yeah.
So if one man controls this institution, then we are failed. We are failed as a state. So what I'm saying is we cannot sustain what we currently having as a country.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that. Let me quickly just answer that section, that point there. Ollie is right, and you are half right about overhauling. But now we're now looking at, yes, we're talking about overhauling. Yes, we're talking about demanding accountability. What form will that process of actually overhauling and demanding accountability? What form will it take? How do we break that down in the community? Now, I believe, not I don't like saying believe. I know for a fact that it's the lack of knowledge. A lot of people on the broadcast, whilst people have been talking, a lot of people on the broadcast have been talking about that awareness of our of our rights is key to making this fundamental change. And I would like to add to that critically in our local languages, and because that way everybody, our people are knowledgeable. Without speaking a word of English, farmers grow farm. They grow stuff in the farm. They know the seasons. They feed the family. The entire community is based on the great farmers. So they have deep knowledge that can be used equally transferable to other areas, i.e., governance. So for me, it is really important that we really start at that grassroots, empowering the people. One of the things that I think we should be considering, and all of us now could be engaged in that, is really to look at how we can get our people through using people who are who are point in the communities, to go into the communities to really and speak to them in the language and explain to them that you are in fact a sovereign, you have powers. So we explain to them, we interpret the constitution in our local languages to the people who are knowledgeable farmers, knowledgeable market women, knowledgeable cloth makers. They have deep knowledge. The problem is when these constitutions have been written in foreign language, it takes them away from that process, so they feel powerless. So what I would like to see is for us to begin to support what we're doing on this platform in encouraging knowledge. So we're looking for strong community leaders that we can appoint to actually go in and begin to do that work. I'll talk some more about that in detail. Let me hear from Earth Angel. Welcome on board, Earth Angel, and thank you for waiting. I'll come back to Chief T99 and Ollie again. And thank you very much, Miss Lady. So, okay, Earth Angel, what would you like to say? 3 minutes. You got 3 minutes? Let's hear from you. Thank you. Greetings.
Family, greetings. How's everybody doing?
We're good. We're good. Thank you very much. What would you like to say?
Okay. You guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear. We hear you loud and
My
clear.
take on the situation is we have got to find a way to re-educate our people. We've got to show them the trickery that was done and have them see it clearly. Because see, our eyes are open and we know and we fully understand how they got over on us. It's because of the use of their elaborate words that was not broken down to be understood by the native people in the villages. So they just basically ran with what they're told. Just like a teacher in the classroom, whatever she puts on the board and tell you study for the test, that's what you're going to do, right? You're not going to dig and go find something from grandma or grandpa and use it on the test. No. But see, that's the advantage they had over these people. They stuck something in their constitution, which is their natural right, and put it in an unknown language that they do not fully comprehend or understand based on their knowledge and their language that they use, their dialect they use on a daily basis. So they're pretty much ignorant, moving in ignorance, believing in the government and the government system, when in fact, when the Constitution is rewritten for them to totally understand, they will not only see the lies that were fed to them over the years, they will come to understand that they are the important figure that creates a need for a government to govern them. And this is why our movement is important and critical.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, yeah, thank you so much for that, Earth Angel. You're very succinct. I like the way you answered the question, and it's really pointing to the way they cleverly twisted the knowledges and the knowledge and hid it in language that people cannot participate in or understand, or they'll have to go through hoops to be able to understand it, which now creates a process of selection to remove people from that process, massive numbers, to only a few being able to participate. You well said, and I think that's where we are heading. So thank you so much. We're going to be working on that, and thank you for your comments. I really appreciate that. Let us go to the next person. I'll be back to you again, Earth Angel. Bantu Queen, welcome on board. We're talking about the protest in Nigeria, and let me mute you so I can hear them properly. 1 second. Yeah. So Bantu Queen, welcome on board. We're talking about protests in Nigeria, and we want the people to be able to have ideas of exactly what the protest is about. Of course, we know there's a lot of things, but what will capture exactly what needs to be done to solve the problem, not only in Nigeria, but across the whole of Africa? I wonder what your thoughts are on that. Welcome on board, Bantu Queen. Let's hear from you. Go ahead. 3 minutes. Linda, please do that. Greetings. Greetings. Go ahead.
Greetings, much respect and love to each and every one in the live chat.
Thank you.
I just want to say, my opinion is, if we're going to plan a demonstration, then we have to educate the youths.
Okay.
What we are going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Educate them in a way that they understand that when we go on the street, if a soldier or a police confront them, they know exactly what to say. It is in my constitutional right to demonstrate. I think that is not right in our country,
Mhm.
on our side of the continent.
Mm-hmm.
If our people, I speak of the youth because my charity is youth, right?
Yes.
The youths go out there ignorantly. If the youths go out there just going to make noise and ignorantly, it will not work. But whatever they have on the platform, on the card, what they have the hold up in their hand, that's what they're fighting for.
Mm-hmm.
Equal rights and justice,
Indeed.
good roads, you know.
Mhm.
Right now, the whole world, us are living this eye at the four corner of planet Earth right now.
Well said. Yes.
They need to know that they have a lot of resources in Nigeria.
Mhm.
What happened to the money?
Mhm.
What happened to the money of our resources?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have iron, we have diamond, we have etc. etc.
Mhm.
These are the questions. You know, why the money, IMF money is, we hear that we borrow how many millions from the IMF.
Mhm.
Where does that money go?
Mm.
When we have the poor of the school, the poor of the hospital, the poor of the roads. These are the things that they have to put out there and have their figure, do their own research so they can tackle the government, the leaders, the MP, the governors, whoever the people is in the community.
Mhm.
So they can say, yes, you get 10 billion to fix this road. The road is not fixed. Where is the money?
Mm.
So they have
Mm.
to challenge the leaders positively. Not making noise. No, it's not the time for noise. No, it's the time to get your figures right to face these greedy leaders.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Calm their mind. This
Mhm.
is from the 14th century.
Yeah.
This generation is the 21st century.
Mm-hmm.
We're not, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So you have to challenge these leaders with
Mhm.
and figures.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just my opinion so
Thank-
far.
Thank you.
There's so many more, but
Yeah.
I need to go.
Thank you, Bantu Queen. Well said. This is exactly the kind of information and discussion we should be having among ourselves. You see, we are having a meeting in our community. This is what we're doing. I want you to view it like that. We are having a meeting among ourselves, trying to solve our own problems. For so long, the situation has always been that the colonizers will call a meeting, they will chair the meeting, and they will suggest to us the solutions in every part of Africa, and they will suggest the solutions by way of what you call IMF, World Bank, food aid, all of this. You see, what we are doing now, we are bypassing all of those things. So you are playing a role just by watching this program alone. You are actively participating in looking for medium to long-term solutions to problems that has really affected Africa. We now shine a light. We now know that those things, the very plans that the colonial masters give us, is meant to keep us in the state of confusion and underdevelopedness. So we need to address this and listen to each other. Everybody's views is very, very relevant in this. I might be changing and dropping down on some people and bringing some back on, because we want this to really continue on. But it's very important. So Bantu Queen, thank you very much. What precisely the information the youth need? They have to research, and we're encouraging them to do that research, and that is very, very important. This is Africa wide. Again, like I said, Kenya is got a protest going on right now with the Gen Zs. Uganda, even with Museveni, they will still protest. in Tanzania, in Malawi, in Liberia, in Gambia, in Nigeria, and now and Ghana is about to start, plus South Africa. These are things that we have to begin to address and really understand. We, by having discussions like this, again, I want to state, we ultimately need our own platforms, because as good as TikTok is, we can be pulled down for saying the wrong language or whatever. We need a platform where we can have this information that will be available to others later on to watch, and not have it interrupted or doctored or filtered in any way, so that we can communicate and really solve our problem long term. So I'm really glad for all of your suggestions. None of it is wasted. Not, trust me, everything that's been said here is of relevance, and people are resonating with it. That's why they're tuning in. Please continue to tap on the screen, share. We welcome subscription. Help us grow the platform. Help us reach more people. We, as Africans, must solve our own problems. So let me just quickly, and before I bring others on, let me say something. I need Africans, and particularly the youth in Nigeria. There is a message that I want to pass to you, and I wanted you to be to all be listening. So, and if you can, share this to all of your contacts who are Nigerians. It's important they understand this. The government has been saying that they don't want you to protest. Well, I'm here to tell you that you have the right to protest. You have the right to protest, number one. And two, there is a judgment that was done in 2003 by the ANPP party in Nigeria. They took the police and Inspector General of Police to court. And in the court ruling, which I'm quickly going to read to you, then I'll come and break that down later on, because I know there's a lot of people who want to comment and contribute. In the court ruling, what I need you to understand, and this is for everyone protesting, the court said that I also agree. It says here, I am therefore persuaded by the argument of Mr. Falano that combined effects of Section 39 and 40 of the 1999 Constitution, as well as the Article 11 of the African Charter on Human People's Rights, the right to assemble freely, cannot be violated without violating the fundamental human right of to peacefully assembly and peaceful assembly and association. I also agree with Mr. Falano that the violation can only be done by a procedure permitted by law under Section 45 of the Constitution, in which case there must be a state of emergency properly declared before these rights can be violated. You know, and then it says, even though, I want you to listen to keywords that I'm going to say here, and then I'll move on. Even though the trial court confirmed that the governor of each state was the appropriate authority to grant permit under the act, the trial court did not hesitate to declare illegal. Listen, this is for everyone protesting. The court declared illegal, right? And unconstitutional the provisions of the Public Order Act, which require permit for public meetings and rallies. Consequently, right? 1 second. The court proceeded to grant an order of perpetual injunction restraining the defendant, Inspector General of Police, whether by himself, his agents, privies, and servants, from further preventing the plaintiffs and other aggrieved citizens of Nigeria from organizing or convening peaceful assemblies, meetings, and rallies against unpopular government measures and policy. Please frame what I just said there. And that's what you will see. If you see what I've got there, look behind me. You can take a screenshot of what I've got there. It tells you you have the right to protest. You don't need a permit. So I need you to be aware of that. Everybody protesting, as long as you protest in a peaceful manner, you are allowed to protest. And one more thing I want to add that is not in what I just read. You have to see yourself as the sovereign that you are. As a sovereign, when you are on your land, you are not going to use your hand to destroy your own property. You see that? That is what I'm getting at. So now, that is why the need for you to be doing this protest in a peaceful manner is very, very important. Because when you do that, you are assuming the role of a sovereign. You are taking control of the situation, and you are dialoguing with those you have put in place to serve you. Because 14.2a of the Nigerian Constitution states sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. So you are now exercising your power as a sovereign to hold your government to account. The protest is to make them know they have to listen to what you are saying as a sovereign. Number two, you have authority as a sovereign to question, to call the government to listen to you. That is your right. And number three, finally, you have the power. All of this is contained in section 14.2a of the 1999 Constitution. So it is very important when you are going to protest, it has to be peaceful. If you don't do it peacefully, you are doing two things. You are using your own hands to destroy what you as a sovereign has a right to. Any property you destroy, it is your property, and that will take money to replace it. And whilst you're trying to improve your lives, it is important you understand that. So when you now say, no, this is not about violence, this is about ensuring that you are accountable to me as a sovereign, and you must be answerable to the questions that I ask you, then you are now doing the protest in the manner it should be done. Please do not misunderstand me. That constitution is a fraud in many respects. But in this instance, when you begin to take control of the constitution and using it to hold your governors to account, you can change the constitution, which is the ultimate goal. That's the ultimate goal. So I need us all to begin. When you are going on this protest, it is important. I've given you the key. You see that information behind me? Take a screenshot of it. Take a screenshot of that information and share it to everybody on your protest. You don't need a permit to carry out a peaceful protest. You don't. But it must be peaceful. It has to be peaceful. So I hope that makes sense. And I wanted to really state that to you because we have to make sure. I know a lot of people are angry. A lot of people are upset. But if you can remember these three words that I'm about to say. One, you are a sovereign. Two, you have authority. Three, you are power. Sovereign, authority, and power. It belongs to you. Now we are trying to teach you how to exercise that. Yes, all political 419 power must go. Exactly. We have to now train you and encourage you to use that power in such a manner that you now begin to hold those you elect into office to account. Because we have never done that before in Nigeria. And indeed, in many African countries, it has never happened. We have never held our governance to account because we didn't know how to do it. Now we have that knowledge. So let me pause for a second and let me ask and let me add somebody else. And maybe somebody may want to chip in. I'll bring in Belvik Udom. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
3 minutes. 1 second, Belvik. 1 second. Okay, go ahead.
People that are marching, the people that are protesting, remember, as long as you don't make violence, there's no excuse. See the victory. See victory. You're doing it as one. See the victory. Already know that you have accomplished it. See the victory. See your children, yourself being able to have food, being able to have a job, being able to have a decent place to live. See that. Don't look. I mean, don't turn words. Don't talk. Just keep your mouth closed and just keep a peaceful. It has to be peaceful. That's the only way you can win.
Thank you. Thank you, Vanna. Well said. And it's important to reemphasize that. We cannot overemphasize that word. It's very important. Thank you for that contribution, Vanna. Now, we're going to bring in Ben Livik. So again, please set up a 3 minutes for me again. Oh, she's away. I've not seen her. Okay, I'll set that up while I'm waiting for Miss Linda to come back in. So, Ben Vic, you got 3 minutes. I will get you to chat and now. So go ahead. Let me just see. Countdown. So you got 3 minutes. Then I'll bring others in. Okay. So what would you like to say? Ben Vic, go ahead. Let's say, can you unmute yourself? Ben Vic, can you unmute yourself? Ben Vic Udom.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead. So, what would you like to say about the protest and suggestions?
Thank you for coming up with this platform. It's very, very educative to our
Thank you.
youth and everybody. All right.
Thank you.
But I have a couple questions.
That's fine.
I'm not encouraging anything violent.
Yes.
But it is good that we ask questions like this so we can get better clarifications.
Absolutely.
Especially me and you might know, but some of the youths might not know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in process of the protest,
Mm-hmm.
all right,
Mm-hmm.
and I overheard some people on some of the platforms say
Mm-hmm.
stuff like they need to occupy no fly zone like the airports and some other places. And you always know that the essence of protest is to inconvenience the government. Yeah, no, I know this, but it's good that we ask so people can actually learn. And you understand? So, the essence of protest is one, to exercise your right,
Mm-hmm.
to be able to make the government
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, this is what we are going through.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
But we all know that Nigerian government
Mm-hmm.
is actually different from the Western government.
I understand.
All right?
Yes,
They don't
that's
really
correct.
understand peaceful language. They
Mm-hmm.
don't really understand otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest, if the government understand peaceful language,
Mm-hmm.
from the time they've been announcing this protest,
Mm-hmm.
some of the policies, some of the stuff that they've been announcing, saying that this is what we want,
Mm-hmm.
the government would have already started implementing some of them.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now, we need to understand what are the extent, what extent can the people protest? What can they do, and what are the things that they cannot do outside of being violent? We're not talking about violence. You know, when we talk about being violent, people
Yeah.
say only carrying guns.
Mm-hmm.
People say only burning houses and doing all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will occupying the entire road, entire street, no movement and all that, would that be considered as violent?
Yes.
Now, we make it that the government, because the government, when they have free flow and go after their businesses and everything, I don't think Nigerian government will understand the language.
No.
But I still don't encourage any Nigerian youth to carry arms, to destroy anything. But how can they pass this message across? Because the Nigerian government is deaf and dumb, that they don't understand the plight of the people. And that's why it has gotten to the point where people will come out to disgrace and show them, look, this is what you have been doing to us. We have been crying, but you don't deaf ears to listen to us.
Okay.
Today we are not supposed to travel overseas.
Yeah.
A lot of our brothers and sisters were not supposed to travel.
Mm-hmm.
They're supposed to be in their country and welcome other people to come and become citizens of our country
Mm-hmm.
and enjoy what we enjoy in their country. It is because of the hardship, because of the suffering, because of the injustice, because of the bad governance, because of the bad judiciary system, bad military security system, architectural system that we have in Nigeria. That's why a lot of us are leaving Africa.
Indeed.
So,
Indeed.
how do we pass this message that
Okay.
the government will really understand how much pain and damage they have caused our youth?
Okay.
Thank
Good.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please let me say something real fast.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
Please. You know the language. Put it on signs.
Mm-hmm.
Don't talk.
Mm-hmm.
Sing, but don't talk.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't talk. If you start talking, you're gonna start arguing.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Mm-hmm.
just
Mhm.
put it on signs.
That's it.
And sing.
Mhm.
Have a victory song.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Have a song that lift your spirit.
Mm-hmm. Good point.
Everybody sing their song.
Exactly.
Sing together as one.
Uh-huh.
Don't talk.
Uh-huh.
Put
Okay.
it on the sign what you're saying.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. What? I'll come back to my brother.
Can I respond to that?
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Please, can I respond?
Okay. Okay. Yes. Okay. Everybody will. Ben Vic. Ben Vic. 1 second. 1 second. So somebody said sing, and I'll let them all answer you quickly, and then you can come back and respond. 1 second, please. Ollie, go ahead.
No problem. You see, Bella, it is nice what you said, and I really like what you said. And Ben Vic, sorry
Yeah.
if I'm not pronouncing your name right. I get what you're saying, but you know, from the way you're speaking, or from the way, well, from the way you're speaking, it's obvious you're not in Nigeria, right? And I think we also need to. There's something called effective communication.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
The way we project information, or the way we communicate matters a lot. The truth is, in the country
Are you there? Ooh, network. Okay.
They didn't get to where they are overnight.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Western countries did not get to where they are overnight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you see the truth about it in Nigeria, yes, we can blame the government. Yes, we can call out the government and everything. Even us as citizens, we are also not better. We're the people in government or the people in leadership, they're a reflection of you and I.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Because an average, let's bring it down to let's bring it down to our reality. An average Nigerian wants to oppress another Nigerian, or wants
Oh,
to
network.
chance another Nigerian.
Yeah.
Okay, they want to take advantage of each other.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we can be chanting. Oh, this is how to say this. This is what. But even the way we say
Mm-hmm.
protest. I live in the UK, right? I'm a civil servant, and I'm just. It might not be relevant, but it's relevant to me anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We've been going on about our pay rise. We've been going on about the way we are underpaid and the value for our intellectual knowledge. The government have not paid attention to us. Okay? Yes, we have unions. At a point, they crippled the union. But over time, we've been able to engage the government in different ways.
Yeah.
And today, the government has bowed to us. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
it took a long time, but they bowed.
Mm.
You see, the Nigerian government are not invisible.
Mm-hmm.
It is you and I, whether we like it or not, we selected them and elected them into power. Tinubu would not have gotten to where he is
Mm.
if some people did not feel it was needed to be there. Whether
Okay.
we agree or not, that's another story.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
But the real issue here is this. For us to protest, we need to be very clear. It's not just about, yes, we don't want violence. Even the way we are saying it
Mm-hmm.
is insightful.
Mm.
And our fundamental human right, there's a boundary to it.
Yeah.
In as much as we're all saying that we are fundamental, there's a boundary.
Yeah.
If the way we are saying it becomes violent, what we are going to do is the government can enforce the law because they have the right to do that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So again, it comes back to what we are saying.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have a clarity, and we need to ensure that, like what Fanny was saying, sing Amazing Grace.
Mm-hmm.
Look at, in America, if you look at history, America communicated. Luther King and all of them, they didn't come to power suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't come to become a name that people know suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
They moved. They made movement.
Mm-hmm.
It's not everybody that was violent.
Mm-hmm.
You
So,
understand?
yeah.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Amazing
Thank you.
Grace by the Rivers of Babylon.
Yeah. Exactly.
A song that everybody can sing.
Yeah.
Sing a Bob Marley song.
Yeah.
Sing a Bob Marley song. Just keep singing
Exactly.
and keep holding your signs up.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. One second. Let me just hear Chief T99. Are you there? Do you want to say something quickly? Then I'll go to. If not, that's fine. Or Earth Angel, if you have any ideas as well. But then I'm going to drop two people, and then I'll bring the others on because a lot of people want to join. So Chief T99, say something quickly. Yeah. Go ahead.
What my brother Ben Lim is saying is that most Nigeria want to oppress, and it's not far from the truth
Mm-hmm.
because they see what their leader does.
Mm-hmm.
Like a policeman will tell you, he will bar you in the street,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
nothing will happen. It's because he knows that
Sorry. This is where you can bring me down. I think some people want to join.
Yes. Okay.
So it's not just us just talking.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much, Oli. Thank you. I'll do that. And I'll bring you back on. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Oli. So.
he knows that the bosses will back him when he does something like that because
Yeah.
we have seen this bosses done something like that and nothing happens.
Yeah.
So it's not about the young boy growing.
No.
People tend to do what they see while they were growing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not about the people, it's about the people in leadership. That's why I still stand on my ground.
Okay.
We have to overhaul
Overhaul.
the system. They are a good example.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, then Earth Angel, I'll let you speak. Then we'll bring Ben Levick back to answer. Then I'll answer as well. Earth Angel, Adiremi, would you like to say something? Go ahead, Adiremi. Go ahead. Hi there.
I cannot state enough. I can never state this enough.
who's ruling on a peaceful protest, we need to have a large banner. They need to have a large banner printed throughout the protest, especially in the front, so the military and those people in charge will see and know and understand that they understand that as long as they're peaceful and orderly and there's no sign of threat or violence anywhere, their protest will be received well.
Wow. Wow. Such a brilliant idea. Such a brilliant. Wow. Wow. I'm.
Constitutional rights on some signs.
That's it.
Constitutional rights
That's
on
it.
some signs.
So let me just quickly, yeah.
Wow.
That is Adelemi. Yes, the ancestors are speaking through you. Thank you. Well said. Well said. Fantastic. Now let's Ashe Adelemi. Ashe. Well said. Ben Vic. Okay, let's come back to you. Then I'll come up with some one or two ideas as well. But that's a brilliant idea, and everybody, let's also make sure on the plus on the poster, everybody holding that up, showing the that section of the Constitution at the front of the protest. Very good idea. Such a brilliant idea. Ben Levy, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's. Thank you.
So these are great ideas, all right?
Hmm. Yes.
But one of the reasons why Nigerians they're kind of fed up
Hmm.
is the fact that, like they say, accountability.
Hmm.
All right. Now, in some states, it might be peaceful.
Hmm.
In some states, the citizens
Hmm.
might not even be violent.
Hmm.
The citizen, and they have one untrained police officer or
Hmm.
military person might open fire.
Yeah.
And these are the things that triggers people,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Which we have seen. We have to trace when stuff happen. All right, we
Hmm.
have to trace back what is the origin of this thing? How did it start?
Yeah.
I'll use the IPOP as an example.
That's
All
correct.
right.
Yeah.
Now, during it's online and everybody have seen. Before the IPOP today became stronger and started defending themselves.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
They started with placards.
Hmm.
I remember in Aba, in Nigeria, Imo State. Abia State.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
On the field, the people were protesting, and we're talking about our parents.
Hmm.
We're talking about our mothers,
Yes.
younger ones, little ones. All right. On the field, singing, because the video is everywhere. Singing.
Yes.
We're singing Christian songs,
Hmm.
and they sent these people to.
Unalive them.
All right. You see why I said that the Nigerian system is quite different
Mm-hmm.
from the Western system.
Mhm.
All right.
Mhm.
Now, my question is this:
Hmm.
how do we checkmate? These lives have been lost.
Okay.
The American government or the Israel went to war. Today we are experiencing war.
Mhm.
It's because of the people they unalive.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right.
Mhm.
Now, do you know how many innocent citizens of Nigeria have been unalive and
Oh.
nothing has happened?
Yeah.
How do we hold these people accountable when they unalive our citizen? I don't care where he's from, whether Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo.
Good point.
But I'm talking about human.
Yes. Yes.
You understand?
I understand.
Because if the citizens feels like they don't have any means of checkmating, even the Western country can just come and make statements, and
Mhm.
it ends just in statements.
Mhm.
They want to take laws. They want to protect themselves.
Yeah.
When they see their brother being killed in any part of the world,
Mhm.
you see it triggers other people in other part of the world, because today we have technology.
Mhm.
If something is happening in Kano,
Mhm.
even you are in America, China, anywhere, you can easily see it.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yeah.
how do we checkmate this?
Okay.
How do we checkmate the security officers,
Yeah.
the politicians, the police officers,
Mm.
the DPOs, the ones giving the orders?
Mm.
Until we find out how we can checkmate them, how we can hold them accountable when they commit this crime, because you just don't hold only the citizens accountable.
No.
We need to hold them to accountable.
Yes. Very
How
good
do we
point.
do that? Until we find the answer,
Yeah.
we'll be able to fix things.
Okay. Thank you. I think here's my suggestion. And I think it might be worth looking at. One of the things that is very important, you see, a lot of people, how you carry yourself in the protest is often based on the knowledge you have. So when you are going to a protest and you just want to protest, you don't know exactly what's going to happen. You have not prepared or planned. So you go with trepidation. So you are going to the protest and you're saying we stop. We are federal government. You're not clear about what you want to say. So part of you, you are afraid of what is going on. 9 times out of 10, people don't know about their rights. They don't know that they have rights. In Nigeria, they don't even know that they have section 39, section 40. They don't know that they have the court case that I just quoted. They don't know any of that. They just go in the hope that if we speak, they will listen to us. And people's perception of themselves are that they are just people that the government can control. People do not see themselves as sovereigns. It is really important to state that, particularly in the local language. So the education of our people even now is very crucial in that process, because when you know your rights, the manner in which you're going to carry yourself will be very different. You will know what the laws are. You will know what the government is supposed to do, and you will be able to discuss this in a calm manner, focusing on the problem rather than getting whipped up. Thank you very much. Thank you, Angel. So it is emotional. So we need to, when you have the knowledge of, for example, section 14.2a in Yoruba language, I'll say it in English first. I'm just going to mute others so I can hear. So I will say it in Yoruba first. I will say in English first. Section 14.2a, when you have that knowledge in not only English but in your local language. So 14.2a in English says sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government through this constitution derives its powers and authority. So that's in English. Now, if you now say that to your community in your local language, either in Igbo, in Yoruba, Hausa, Efik, Ishon, you are teaching them to know that, do you know that you are sovereign? And in Yoruba, it goes like this. Fort abala kẹrin láìsẹ kejì a ìjọba jẹ́ ti àwọn ènìyàn Nàìjíríà láti ọ̀dọ̀ ẹni tíjọba nípasẹ̀ òfin orílẹ̀-èdè gbogbo agbára àti àṣẹ rẹ̀. Now you have prepared the mind of the people. It is not instant. What you're doing is you switch them on. I have powers as a sovereign. I have authority. I have power. Now, how do I use it? Now you are preparing them. This is before the protest. This is why preparation before the protest is really crucial, to share this kind of information within the community, right? Not only among the protesters, but in the villages and in the small towns, so that the people are able to be with the people, knowing that they are indeed, as it said, they are the sovereigns from whom the government derives its powers and authority. The government will not be in existence without the collective powers of we, the sovereigns, to govern the nation. And because we've translated into local languages, people are able to understand that. So that, I believe, is part of what we need to do. The second part of it is now, we will now teach them, right, do you know, on top of that, you can actually ask questions. So now, 14.2c states, the participation by the people in the government shall be the participation by people in the government shall be ensured in accordance with the provisions of this constitution. That's in English. Now in Yoruba, so again it will be in Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, and all that languages. We encourage people to, so everybody listening now, you can begin to, if you can translate it in your community, please go right ahead and start doing it. We need that information urgently. So in Yoruba language, it will go like this. Abala kẹrin láìsẹ̀ kejì sí. Ìkópa àwọn ènìyàn nínú ìjọba wọn gbọ́dọ̀ rí dájú ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú àwọn òfin orílẹ̀-èdè yìí. So again, I've translated that in English into Yoruba language. Now in the communities, they now know that they have the power to participate in the government enshrined in the constitution. We are giving the mind the time to process this. You see, action, to have action, you need to actually have the process of planning behind it. When you combine the knowledge of the sovereignty plus the knowledge of being able to participate in the governance, and the participation is that it gives you the right to question your government, to demand questions for them, to demand answers for them, to call them to town hall meetings. Now, when you combine the two, when you now say you're going to a peaceful protest, everybody's aware of the powers they possess collectively. And I want to say something, please. Nobody should go to the protest and say, I am the leader. You are all leaders. These are what we want to try and bring on board. You know, so this is really important. So when we now start thinking in that way, we now begin to, this is going to be a gradual process. We have been conditioned for over 24 years to believe that we have no powers, that we are sinners or we are slaves. We are sinners sinning under Jesus Christ and we have to repent, or we are slaves to Allah. And in those cases, we have not been made aware in 24 years that we are actually sovereigns from whom the government derives the powers and authority. So you see, there's a lot of work we need to do to really catch that. to begin to deal with that. And it has to be consistent. I think I have said this Constitution 14.2 and 14.2c. I've lost the count of time. I must have said it 1,000 times, and I have to say it another 1,000 times. And I want others to say it another 1,000 times in the local languages so that the people understand what powers they possess and how to use it. Now, when they now say they want to go for protest, they will already know how they can do this. They don't even have to shout. They will hold the placard. They'll say, I'm not shouting. I don't want to destroy anything because I know my rights. I know I'm a sovereign. All I'm asking for the government is to now do what we tell them to. They are meant to serve me. So there will be already the psychology that the people bring to the to that protest will be radically different. Radically different. And that is what we need to bring in. And particularly in their local language. You see, I'm speaking English. Yeah, it's fine and all that. But when you come to communities, they need to know. Wọ́n fẹ́ gbọ́ kíní Yorùbá. Wọ́n fẹ́ mọ ìtumọ̀ àṣẹ. Wọ́n fẹ́ mọ agbára. Wọ́n fẹ́ mọ ọba aláṣẹ. They want to know that in the language, and they can see that power within them. That is what we need to wake up. So the process of protesting is not just simple protest. It's about wakening up the people, awakening them to the powers within them, and then encouraging them to use that power, and they can trust themselves. When you know you have power, you see what power does to you. It allows you to depend on yourself. I have this power. With power, they say, comes responsibility. When you feel a sense of power, you now want to use that power in a way that actually makes sense and actually helps. So that is part of what we need to do. There's a lot more to it, but I hope that gives you some idea of where we're going. So we need to be educating our people in awareness. I think that's what I would say.
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
It does, but my question remains:
Yes.
what if we've applied all this?
Mm.
Right? What if we're talking about the Nigerian system?
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
No, we don't need to talk about that.
Hold on.
Stay positive.
Hold on, Vanna. Let's give him chance to ask the question. 1 second.
To ask you a question.
Okay.
It is good. All right? Like I said, we are speaking our heart.
We don't want to have to start using the timer again.
Yes. Okay.
So the question that was put to you earlier about the solution, and your solution was just kick them all out. But who will you replace them with? You can't just have nobody in place. So this is why we talk about, because the whole democratic process is fairly new to Nigeria, so it's going to take some time, and there will be growing pains. You can't do everything all at once. What's being asked for right now is just meet with us and show us what you are doing for the people. That's not a lot to ask for. That is no reason for people to be unaligned. And if you are afraid, use another method. You don't have to come to the protest. You might want to do a boycott. Stay home.
That's another thing. Good idea. Good idea. Boycott.
Don't discourage everybody else.
Yeah.
Please don't do that.
Okay. So thank you, Linda. Thank you. Go ahead. Okay, Ben Livik, I'll give you. Hang on, Ben Livik. 1 second. I'm going to put your timer. So because I need to move to others as well. But I'm really enjoying the discussion. But I want to be fair to others because Lee is waiting. So I'll give you 3 minutes and say a few things, and then I can answer quickly. And I'll go to Lee. Because of time purposes, I'd love to spend more time. But okay, here you go. Say what you would like to say. Then I'll we can start with that. Go ahead. Ben. Hold on, Lee. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Lee, 1 second, please. Let me just let Ben Livik say this, and I'll come to you. Just hold on, please, if you don't mind. Thank you. Okay, Ben Livik, go ahead. Go ahead, quickly.
Okay, so one of the advice that when I was talking, I'm not a leader. Just listen, I'm one of the Nigerian youth that is feeling the same thing. All right. So I'm talking from my own perspective. I say instead of them unaliving you, if you cannot go out, everybody don't have the same patience. Most people have gone through. Most people have felt their loved ones die unalive just like that, and no justice. All right. I say if you think you don't have the patience to go out there and carry out blackout, all right, why don't you apply the Southeast style of civil disobedience?
Yes.
By sitting at home.
Okay, that's fine. That's
So
fine.
actually, why we are doing this is a kind of bringing solution.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Somebody else might hear the way I'm talking and
Mm-hmm.
think I'm supporting. No, no.
Mm-hmm.
We are actually, I'm trying to like put myself in the mind and the shoe of other people who might be feeling worse than
Mm-hmm.
we are feeling. We're only bringing solutions.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank
Thank
you.
Now,
you
if you
for your
think
contribution. Your time has
Yeah.
run out.
Yeah. Okay. But but okay. So before you go, Ben Livick. So I like the suggestion. Like I said, it's only for time purposes. But I'm really glad. Listen, I'm following you. Please follow me back. I'm following you, Ben. Ben. 1 second. Linda, just 1 second, please. Before he goes, I want to Ben. I'd like to follow you because I really like what you said. Um, 1 second, please. Linda, just 1 second, please. Hold on. Ben Levy, can you hear me? Ben Levy, can you hear me? Uh, oh, okay. So we are
want
go.
to
Yeah.
on my mind, yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. So quickly. So what? What?
I can
Listen.
hear you now.
Okay. Because of obviously there's a lot of people on here. I'd like to spend more time to have more ideas, but I want to give people other chances. But I'm really grateful for your suggestion, and this is exactly we are participating in the process. I hope you're following me. I'm following you right away, but it seems to be rejecting me. I
Yes, I
really
just
need to.
followed you.
Okay, good. So that'll be great. But listen, just stay behind for a while, and if when I speak to Lee, I may come back to you. But rest assured, we are going to continue the discussion because I really like what you come up with in ideas. And thanks for the engaging discussion. I really appreciate that. Okay, let's go to Lee now. Thank you very much, Ben. Thank you. Okay, so Lee, let's go to you. Thank you for waiting. 3 minutes again, Lee. Thank you for waiting. Yeah, let's put 3 minutes on Lee as well. Go ahead, Linda. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really want to appreciate everybody's contribution.
Yeah.
And I really want to appreciate you for your platform in educating people on how to go about this protest
Mm-hmm.
peacefully.
Mm-hmm.
But, sir,
Mm-hmm.
I must say my mind. I
Yes,
grew up
please do.
here. I was born here.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know the kind of government that we have.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate Mrs. Venner and Miss Lady when they were giving us tips on how to make it peaceful,
Yeah.
carrying placards, singing victory song.
Mm-hmm.
We've done this severally,
Mm-hmm.
and it has yielded to no result.
Mm-hmm.
In 2020,
Mm-hmm.
I participated in the NSAS.
Mm-hmm.
We carry placard. I snapped with it. It's on my Facebook page. At the end of the day, what happened? They came with gun and shot people with Nigerian flag.
Say pew pew. Say pew pew. Please say pew pew. Pew pew. F1. F1. Say pew pew. Don't say the word GUN. Say pew pew. Because Facebook, TikTok will be. They might bring it down. Pew pew.
Sorry for that.
That's
It's just
fine.
that I'm being pained.
Yeah, I understand. Go ahead.
In good countries where you carry placards and everything, your government are supposed to listen to you. But here, they will either send the army, the force, they will even bribe some of us
Mm-hmm.
to scatter the protest, to make it look like the protesters are the one that is being violent. You see,
Mm-hmm.
they are fighting themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And before you know, they come in with force and scatter everything, and everybody go back and cry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So these people are not government. It's like a group of, I don't want to use words now, but it's like a group of fraudsters or criminals. They've been able to hijack the government of a country,
Mm-hmm.
and they have been able to place all the judiciary system, the
Mm-hmm.
military, they've been able to set this standard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's good. That's what they are doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how protest is going to remove these people from how protest is going to solve it. Because revolution is also a process of gaining freedom. When are we going to get tired? Today, sir, I was supposed to get fuel to start my business today. When I got to filling station today, I could not buy fuel because I saw a lot of queue.
Mm.
I had to go back home. So people are angry. So for it not to turn to violence, that I don't know. I just pray it doesn't. But just pray for Nigeria. We are heading towards that days ahead. That's what I'm just saying.
Okay.
So that's my contribution.
Thank you. Thank you. I would just like to answer you back quickly on that. Listen, every one of us here, be in no doubt, we are fully aware of the frustration, the oppression, the injustice of this current system of governance. Be it previous government, current government, all of it. It is injustice. There is no other word for it. It is unacceptable, and we really, the reasons why we are coming out and coming up with suggestions and discussions like this is to allow people to air these things and come up with solutions. Very important. And you said the word there. You said people are tired, people are fed up, and this may end up in a revolution. However, what we want to do is this. The government's response to what has been said now was, oh, we don't want you to come out and protest at all. They don't even want to hear you. But what we are trying to tell you is that the government it's their usual way. They will hide information you need to take part in governance. They will hide it from you. What we are doing is bringing that information to you, not only in English, but in local languages, so that the people in the community will become part of the process. Our people in over all 1.4 billion Africans, many of whom have been removed from the process of governance because the language in which they write the constitutions is either English, French, or Portuguese, removing the power to participate from millions of us. And that's why the conditioning of what you say now, people are afraid of their governance, because that is what the governance in Africa has been designed to do. Now, when we share information about the constitution in their local languages, they now become empowered. And that is a process that will take time. It's not going to happen overnight. It will take time. All I can say in this point, at this point, is this: I recognize that you need to have your voice heard. But I'm telling you and I'm imploring you to please begin to know that you are a sovereign. That changes how you look at the governance, because you will now understand. Because when people are talking about governance, the people right now, without knowledge that they're sovereigns, their thinking is that the governance is just meant to manage them. They have no say in it. And that is what we are trying to change. Awareness is key. Even as you're speaking, Lee, you can help in raising the awareness in the communities. You can be part of that process, because they've conditioned our minds in Nigeria for 24 years to believe that we are slaves to the government, to believe that we have no say in what the government does. And we are providing you written documentation that states that you are the sovereign, you have the authority, you have the power, and the government is answerable to you. Now, when people begin to comprehend that, the manner in which they will question their government will be different. Let me give you an example. Previously, myself, before knowing about the Constitution, I believed that the government were the ones who made ultimate decision on everything, and we, the people, just had to follow what the government decided, good or bad. We had no say. I didn't even know that we had a constitution until 2018, and I'm in my 50s. I didn't know we had a written constitution that was applicable, that I could use, and I'm in my 50s. Now, in 2018, when we started looking at Revolution Now and Bushawore, then I started looking at, okay, what's this thing? Oh, constitution. Then when I understood, I started reading through it. It got to a point I was reading sections of the Constitution on programs on Facebook and enlightening people. And even at that process, I didn't fully understand the powers within the Constitution that we had. But over time, because I kept doing that and I kept relating to it, referring to it, I started to understand how powerful the powers we possess are and how we should use it. So this is a process that's taking time. We are now what, in 2024? I'm talking about since 2018. So you see, what we are saying, when more of us begin to understand the powers we possess, it will take some people will learn very quickly and be able to adopt that power and actually do that in their language. Some people will take a slower time. What we need is for that information to continue to saturate. We have to be hearing it day in, day out on all platforms, and we begin to take it on and relearn. What we are doing is we're learning how to use those powers. Now, somebody that have no idea that they are sovereign, when they hear the government has said this, the first thing in their mind is, oh, the government has, how am I going to survive? They don't even think about how to hold the government to account, because it's not in their mind. So when they even go to protest, they are protesting with fear. They are protesting. They are going, know what? No, I don't, because they do not know that they are sovereign. Now, when we now put the information in their minds to wake them up, how they will say, okay, this is not right. They now know they can question the government. They can have monthly town hall meetings. They can begin to question senators, governors, House of Reps, state House of Assembly members, and local government chairman. They can question them, and rightly so. And they have the constitution to back them up. So they will go to the protest like this. They will go, okay, look, they will go as a group. We are going to peacefully protest. We are going to go to areas because the constitution says it has to be peaceful. We agree. We are sovereigns. We don't want to destroy anything, because anything that destroys, it means that the money that we want to do other things would have to be used to repair it. That means you now understand that as a sovereign, it is your responsibility to take care of your own land, your own property, to make it serve you as best as possible. So the mindset changes, is what I'm saying. But of course, I understand that we want to do it now, but we have to really lean on, and I want to reiterate, having the placard up and beginning to teach each other, even 4 years old. This is not going to be solved overnight, but with gradual time and doing this awakening. And that's why we're encouraging people, please support us, subscribe to Citizen AY, and help us grow the platform on YouTube and on TikTok. Because what we want to do is we want to send stakeholders into communities who know the language, who we will train about how to talk about the Constitution in the way that the people understand in their local language, and train them how to use those powers in communities so that they can begin to take collective action themselves. We are putting power back in the hands of the people. The government, African governments collectively have taken power away from the people by simply keeping the Constitution in foreign languages. We need to replace that. So it's a slow process. It's going to be gradual. But with this protest, I still say, I believe firmly that when you start teaching people that they are sovereigns, their mindset of how to solve the problem changes gradually over time. So please, 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 let us be very calm. Peacefully is what we must do. If we destroy anything in our land, then we are really wasting our resources and our wealth as sovereigns. And we need to reinforce on the government that they must listen to us. The calmer we are, knowing that we are sovereigns and demanding that the government bend to our will as sovereigns, the more they will do it. They will fight they will resist it hard. They are afraid. They have really, the government around Africa, in Kenya, they are so scared, they're afraid of the Gen Zs. In Nigeria, they are so afraid that when the youth come out, they will have to give up everything they've been looting. They will have to account. So they are fighting against it. But please, let us stay the course. Let's stay the course. We can do this gradually together. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me bring in, I'll bring in Gloria. Fantastic. And then I'll ask her a question. I'll bring in Gloria. And we can, and I hope that answers your question, Lee. And I'm following you as well. Thank you for waiting. Let's go ahead and hear from you. Then I'll bring in Gloria. The One Man TV. Let's hear from you. Go ahead, please. Thank you. 3 minutes. Linda, if you can put 3 minutes on there for me as well, if you don't mind, or Vanna. Then one man can talk. So everybody 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. I am the One Man TV from Nairobi, Kenya.
Yes, please.
Thank you so much for having me, Citizen, the comrades, and all people who are doing this wonderful. To me, I'm very happy. When you people are discussing, I don't want to come in and talk. I want you people to talk.
Thank you.
Do you know that the wind is blowing? The wind of change is blowing in Nigeria.
Yeah.
People in Kenya, they're looking, they're waiting, they're anxious to know how you people are going to do it. Whether you will do it 20 people, 100 people, 50 people, it doesn't matter. So long as the message has reached there. I am very happy. We are very happy. As a human rights, as activists, we are very, very happy. What we want is a one united Africa. If Nigeria has problem, it affects Kenya, it affects Tanzania, it affects Uganda, because all these people who are destroying us, who are stealing away from us, they want us to worship them. We cannot do that. Now it is time for us to wake
Mm.
from the government,
Mm.
from the state. They want to know your plans.
Mm.
Don't show your all of your plans, what you want to do. We are going to have banners. We are going to do this. We are going to do this. Has to, in Kenya we take them by surprise.
Okay. Okay. Good
We
point.
do every time then, and then we will every Tuesday we have demonstration. So don't show, don't tell, don't mention what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
You people, this group, your administration, the citizen, and other people, you can do it behind the curtain, behind the tent. You can do it privately. You can plan it private. How many banners we are going to have? What the message we are going to do this? How many people are going to this? You know the government, they're the one who causes violence, not you people.
Exactly.
We are peaceful.
Wow.
You cannot see people in Nigeria who are demonstrating, holding guns and start shooting people.
Unaliving. No, pew 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 pew. My brother, say pew pew. My brother, say pew pew. My brother, say pew pew. Say pew pew because they might, pew pew. You don't use GUN. Say pew pew.
Because when you use those bad words, I have to drop you. You can come back.
Yeah, but
Oh, please don't drop me.
no, we're not gonna drop you. But just don't use the word pew. Just use pew pew. Just use pew pew.
Friendly language.
Because TikTok get very upset. They might want to bring us down. But go ahead. Go ahead.
I know what I'm talking. I know what I'm talking. My human right. I know.
Yes.
What I know about this. My
Mhm.
sister. I know. What I'm talking is either I'm going against the TikTok or what.
Yes. Yes.
Exactly.
TikTok
I
friendly
cannot
language.
go.
That's
I
all.
cannot go astray, my sister.
Yes.
So
Just
don't
use
worry.
TikTok friendly language.
Yeah. He will. He
Pew and unalive.
Yeah. He will do that. He will do that. Carry on. Carry on.
I know.
Thank you.
I know how I can manage myself with TikTok.
Yes.
They will not ban you people.
Okay. Okay.
I know.
Good. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not abusing anybody. I'm not insulting anybody. I'm not inciting anybody.
Yes.
What we are doing here is to fight for the human rights and good governance in Nigeria.
Yes. Yes.
I cannot speak anything more.
Yeah.
Please. Thank you so much.
Okay.
And be blessed.
Thank you. My brother, before you go, I want to ask you. You said you have protests every Tuesday. What else?
Protest every Tuesday. Yeah.
Okay. Anything happening to? Have you got any updates for us? Have you got any updates for us?
Peaceful protest.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for that.
What we are going to do now, our next activity is to take those police who killed our people to court.
Unalive.
Take
Yeah.
them to court to answer the charges of killing our people.
Awfully. Okay.
Using our constitution.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Whoops. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll come back. We'll bring it back. We didn't want him to say on. He has to use. Please, everybody, use on a live.
Over 3 times.
Yeah. Say on a live. Say pew pew. Say YT. Don't use because Facebook and TikTok they will be sending message to me that we're going to shut it down. So when we want this broadcast, that's why please, my brother, go and come back. One Man TV, go and come back because if we don't, they will bring it down. It is really important the work we're doing here, and we want to keep it up and running. So that's why we're having to drop you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna ask one or two people. Ben
I
Livik,
just want to make a public service announcement.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So that was nothing personal against you. It's just that you had done it over 3 times. So normally we put F1 in the chat and start tapping up the screen
Mhm.
and maybe put a favorite color in
Yeah.
there. What you did, you were asked to please, use TikTok friendly language.
Yeah.
We like what you're saying. We want to hear what you have to say, but not at the expense of having the live taken down. So you can request and come back.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you, Linda. Thank you.
Tap the screen, y'all. We got to 10K. Yay.
Thank
Keep
you.
tapping. Keep tapping.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Let's
Thank you.
follow each other.
Yes, please follow. Thank you. Okay, let's go to C. Joseph. Thank you very much for waiting. Let us have your thoughts on the protest and any suggestions you may have. Wishing everybody welcome on board. Let's hear from you. Pleasure to have you here. Welcome back.
much. I've been like eager since morning, just waiting to hear what's the updates and what's going on ground. I called some few people to check with them, like what's happening, and I heard that there are people out. Anyway, people started coming out from the afternoon, and there are people that are afraid and at home, but there are people out anyway, so that is a good thing.
Yes.
And I just I would love to hear from people who are on ground as well and see what they're doing there. I
Yes.
suppose it's a good suggestion that that man also said that we have to be conscious of giving them too much details online, and we have to keep it going. We have to keep it going. We don't like this is only the beginning. There's so much we have to do, like you said, Citizen AY. There's just so much work we have to do going into the community, trying to enlighten people, trying to wake people up so that they can get more engaged in their own community and in their own affairs, so that we don't even have to wait for the government all the time and get to this stage where we are always from time to time coming to protest. That we start preventative measures, we start to enlighten our people, we start to engage, we ourselves will start from the grassroots to look at what is even happening in our local areas and how we as a community can start teaming up together to build our environment and build our people, teach our people how to protect their own environment, protect their own people around themselves, that we all become the government of our own land.
Absolutely.
And that's I was putting together today. I went and started writing a little book because and I got an inspiration as well from you, Citizen AY, because I was like, okay, good. You see, these are the things that we've been talking about. But when conversations start to go on, then the inspiration and everything will start to wake up all of the thought. I started to think, those little, like, in fact, I wrote a really basic kind of book today, and I was like, yeah, it should be simple, and we should not overload our people with information or saying so much grammar, so that the message will not be lost. We can go into making little notes about our experience or outside the country and what happens to us and what we should be doing to deal with the situation from our own community, so that we no longer have to be people who are running around all over the world looking for greener pasture, getting disrespected
Ashe.
while we leave them in our own land to take what belongs to us. But we can never do this unless we start writing little books about our experience in Europe and translating it into our languages and delivering it into schools and teaching
Ashe.
young people, because the older generation at this stage is so difficult to convince many of them, especially those ones who are so much into God, and all of that. You can't change anymore some people, but if we start to enlighten the younger ones and we catch them young, there'll be great hope for the future. So governance should be all about all of us. So I'm just really waiting to hear what's happening in Nigeria today, and to just see how we can keep it going, that they don't stop until they achieve the goal. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Well said. Well said. Thank you very much, C. Joseph. Just to give you a bit of update, many of the governors who are on ground, because some of them have flown the country, they've fled the country. Some senators, some House of Reps, some State House of Assembly members, they fled the country. They fled because they don't want to face the impending peaceful protest. And they should not be. I am calling for them to be impeached and recalled under section 110 of the Constitution. You can recall your senator. Section 69 of the Constitution. You can recall your senator and your House of Reps. Under section 110 of the Constitution, you can recall your State House of Assembly member. Under section 188 of the 1999 Constitution, you can impeach your governor. These are things I've spoken about, and I'll talk about it again. So we can, and this is to let you know you have the powers, but our people don't know it, and we're encouraging that to be shared in our local languages. Very important. Now, you asked about updates. The governors, like I said, so a lot of the governors and government officials have been going around telling people, don't protest. You shouldn't. It's going to be violent. No, you don't have that right. These people, I say it again, I'm saying it, and we need to remind them. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the collective government, they derive the powers of governance from you and I. They are meant to serve us. They are not meant to tell us what to do. They are meant to listen to our concerns right from the grassroots right to the federal level and address those concerns specifically and make sure that we are comfortable and happy with what they're doing. And if they are not, we have the power to recall them. We don't have to wait 4 years for elections. We can recall them immediately. Like I said, Section 69, you can recall your state of assembly members, your House of Reps. Section 110, you can recall the state as your senators. You can recall senators with Section 69. Senators and House of Reps with Section 69. Section 110, you can use that to recall your state House of Assembly members. And finally, Section 188, you can recall your governors through impeachment. By impeachment, you get the state House of Assembly members to vote and impeach your governors. 2/3 of them must vote that he has not done the will of the people, and as such, the people are calling for him to be impeached, and he will be impeached. These are critical powers that we have. But it's good to know that some. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
You said that so fast. I was trying to figure out what you were saying. You went so fast.
Okay, thank you. I'll slow it down. I'll slow it down.
Until you get excited.
Yes. Okay, I'll say that slowly for those who didn't hear it. Okay, so let me just say it in answer to what C. Joseph just said about the developments. I've been watching videos, and even kings have been coming out and saying people mustn't protest. Kings in areas, in some local government areas and some towns and things, they've been coming and saying you shouldn't protest. They've been demanding. They don't have that right. Governors have been doing it. Government officials. That is not acceptable. This is exactly why we are saying you must know your rights as sovereigns. You are not just citizens. You are sovereigns, land owner. Do you understand what that means? You own that land as a sovereign. And that gives you certain powers which we are quoting. Sovereignty belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives all its powers and authority. Every single person, the Oba, the chief, the ministers, the governors, the politicians, all of them telling you not to protest, they don't have the right to tell you. And what is more, I've just quoted the 2003 court case ruling that tells you that you have the right to peacefully protest. We are not talking about violent protest. We're talking about peaceful protest. So we need to, this is why programs like this is important. I'm not interested in trying to tell you, I'll play a video. Oh, this is what the king said. And that's one, that doesn't solve it. You are not going to learn anything new. I want you to learn something new. This something new is that you have the power as a sovereign. Remember, you are sovereign, you have authority, you have power. And critically, in your own language, to remove them. So, Section 69 of the 1999 Constitution gives you the power to recall your senator and your House of Reps via a simple, by a 50%, over 50% majority will trigger a petition that is forwarded to INEC. Within 90 days, INEC will now set up a referendum where a simple majority will now remove either the senator or the House of Reps. You have that power, and we are here to teach you how to use it. These are the kind of the things that we want those who are protesting to be aware of. Now, secondly, for the State House of Assembly members, you can also recall them under Section 1110 of the 1999 Constitution. Again, the same process. A petition of over 50% of the population in that local government area and constituency saying we have lost confidence in the State House of Assembly member, and then what happens is INEC would accept that, and within 90 days they will now organize a referendum again where a simple majority of the people saying he must go at the people. Once you get that majority, he's recalled. These are powers that we will continue to reiterate for you to know you have the power to hold your governors to account. They don't want you to know this. They don't want you to be able to exercise those powers. And we want you to know it in your local language. So briefly, I can say in Yoruba, give me a few seconds, I'll just say this. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ pé gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ní àwọn tí wọ́n àwọn òṣèlú yìí ẹ lè gbé wọn kúrò nípò. Ẹ ní àṣẹ nínú ìwé òfin 110 ẹ lè pe àwọn aṣòfin ìbílẹ̀ ẹ lè pe wọn kúrò nípò. Tẹ́ bá ti ju ìdajì lọ tí ẹ ti kọ bọ̀ wípé petition petition àwọn INEC wọ́n á gbàgbé yẹn lọ́wọ́ yín láàárín 120 ọjọ́ wọ́n á ṣe n tá à ń pè ní referendum. Nínú referendum yẹn tẹ́ bá ti pọ̀ ju àwọn tí wọ́n fẹ́ kó dúró lọ ẹ pè wọ́n kúrò nípò. bákan náà ló ṣe rí fún àwọn aṣòfin senator, aṣòfin kékeré, aṣòfin àgbà senator, aṣòfin kékeré, house of reps, bákan náà ló ṣe rí fún àwọn náà. Ẹ lè pè wọ́n kúrò nípò pẹ̀lú nǹkan tí mo sọ ní ìṣẹ́jú mélòó kan sẹ́yìn sìn. Ẹ ní àṣẹ àti agbára láti gbé wọn kúrò nípò. Ó ṣe pàtàkì ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní mú àwọn kìnìún lò. Mo ń dìídì sọ ní èdè Yorùbá kẹ́ lè mọ̀ pé ẹ ní àṣẹ àti agbára láti gbé wọn kúrò nípò. Kódà gómìnà gan nínú section 188, ẹ ní ẹ̀tọ́, ẹ sọ fún àwọn aṣòfin, ẹ sọ fún wọn ní gbogbo agbègbè yín, ní àwọn ìbílẹ̀ yín, ẹ lọ yọ gómìnà kúrò. Àfẹ́ n tó ṣe fún wa kò tó. Gbogbo wọn tán bá ti ju 2/3 lọ, bí tán bá ti ju bí jẹ́ ká pè bá mo ṣe márùndínlógún lé dín ní ọgọ́rùn-ún, tán bá ti ju àwọn iye yẹn tán fọwọ́ sí ìwé pé kó máa lọ, ó máa kúrò nípò. Gbogbo àwọn agbára yìí à ń gbìyànjú àti ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ fún yín ní èdè Yorùbá kẹ́ lè mọ̀ pé ẹ ní àṣẹ àti agbára láti máa yọ àwọn arábì kúrò. So what I've just basically said is that I've said that in Yoruba language for my Yoruba people to understand that. I want Igbo people to do the same thing. These are information that we must begin to share locally. We have the power to do this, and we can, and we are doing it. You are seeing me live on camera doing this because I'm invested in the well-being of our people in our communities, to empower them to begin to take control of their lives and demand for the infrastructure that they rightly deserve as sovereigns in their community. This is the work we must all completely be focused on achieving in every community. So I ask also, please continue to do this work. Let's share that. So I'm going to stop there. So I hope that answers your question, C. Joseph. And we'll be looking for more updates as we're going along. We are following what's going on. But please keep in mind, you have the right to peaceful protest. You're welcome. Thank you. See, Joseph, yeah, it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. We have somebody who is from Finland, Roshka. He's a friend of the house. He's going to give his perspective, an European perspective. It's obviously, he's from Finland, and Finland used to be at one time under the control of Russians and then the Swedish, and ultimately they gained their own independence and were able to, they now have all of their constitution in their local languages. And he's able to tell us, he might be able to tell us one or two things in terms of the protest. So welcome on board, Roshka. Let's hear from you. What would you like to say? 3 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you, citizen. I have some advice. Like from what I've understood of law, and I've looked a little bit into Nigerian laws and the Constitution. There are if you are questioned by authorities of why you are there, I have some advice. And this would be the same in Europe because there are liabilities here too. Our constitutions are not so different.
Yes.
Actually, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
Is that my advice is that if you are asked by an authority of why you are there, what you are doing there, answer the following. I am a citizen of Nigeria exercising my constitutional right to freedom of expression and opinion in the public space, as outlined in Chapter 4, Section 39 of the Constitution. Now, it's important that you say this. Make no reference to a leader, because if you reference a leader, then the reference is an organization.
Exactly.
And make no reference to demonstration or protest, because the demonstration or protests may require a permit. And if it has been declared illegal by the state, then you cannot participate in them. However, if you simply say that I am a citizen in Nigeria exercising my constitutional right to freedom of expression and opinion in public space, you are not in legal liability. You are not following a leader. There is no organizer. You are not the organizer. You are not demonstrating or protesting. You are simply exercising your rights under Section 39 of Chapter 4. And another thing, though, I have to say, this citizen may disagree with me a little bit on this, but
Yeah.
I understand that it's important for the peoples of a country to understand that they are the units of citizens on which the sovereignty of the state is based. There is no section in the Constitution that says there's such a thing as a sovereign citizen. So I would advise not to use the word sovereign. Simply say that I am a citizen of Nigeria exercising my constitutional right to freedom of expression. And then if they bring this up later, if they try to charge you, then these will be things that will be handled in court. I mean, Section 40 outlines the right to assembly.
That's correct.
Essentially, a demonstration.
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
But that's something that will have to happen in court. You don't have to say anything about that while the authorities are speaking to you. That will be in court then afterwards. And then this thing of like sovereign citizen, it's being tried elsewhere
Mm-hmm.
It never goes well.
Mm-hmm.
Simply say that I am a citizen of Nigeria exercising my constitutional right of freedom of expression and opinion in a public space, specifically a public space.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go into somebody's private space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the strongest. My point here being is that this is the strongest legal case. This section 39 is stronger than 40,
Yes,
and that's enough.
exactly.
With that,
Okay.
you have the right to be there, to hear and express opinions,
Mm-hmm.
and in a public space.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all it is. It's that simple. No leader, no organizer, no
Exactly.
demonstration, no protest. Then you don't need a permit. And then the sovereign citizen thing is law enforcement does not react well to that. So simply say that you're a citizen of Nigeria exercising your constitutional right. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Wow, Roshka, thank you very much. I'm really glad you said that, and thank you for really participating in that process. We are all here to learn, and I'm definitely not going to rule out what you said. I'm not going to wave it to one side. It is something worth considering. I may not fully agree with it because I fully understand intricacies of the constitution, and I've been reading certain things more. But you are 100% right to place this idea forward. It gives us further certainty. Section 39 is very key. I've talked about it on this platform, and in fact, if I just quickly run through that again live, because I have it on here, what you said is absolutely correct. It is a powerful tool. That's Section 39, and I would like you to, everybody that's hearing me, have it on your phone as well. Quickly go to www.citizenry.org and you'll have it on there. Let me quickly just bring that up so that I can talk to you about it in depth again. But Roshka, on point. Thank you very much. I'm really glad. As an independent observer who have gone through that via Finland. I'm really glad that you've taken the time to actually answer the question in a very honest and truthful manner and participate in that process. It is really, really important. So let me just reiterate that section 39 to you. Now I'm come and talk about the issue about sovereignty slightly different. It doesn't mean that what is said is wrong. It's just a different point of view, and that is really important. And it's not if anything to get into disagreement about. We need to make sure that we use all possibilities to get what we are rightfully owed as citizens. Very, very important. Yeah. So let me just go to that section 39 and read that to you. This is I've got it on here. You will see it coming up briefly. What's that noise? 1 second. 1 second, please. So let me just quickly do that. Oh, where is it now? It's just gone off from my screen. I'll bring it up. It is here. I've got it. It's just gonna take me some time to get there. Okay, so now section 39 is up, and it states very much like Roshka said. Roshka said, and it's right. And this is what I mean. If somebody who's from Finland can access that information, it tells you that you can also access that information. That for the proof of what I'm saying, you need to begin to participate in this process. It's really important. So, like you said, 39, section 39.1, every person shall be entitled to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion, including freedom to change his religion or belief, and freedom, either alone or in community with others, and in public or in private, to manifest and propagate his religion, belief in worship and teaching and practice and observance. So this is really important. Section 39.1. It's very important. Please take a note of that. Put it on your phone. Share it in your communities. It is worth you having that on the phone as well as 14.2a, 14.2c. Now, I'm going to say this. Roshka, I'm not going against you at all. I'm just saying it's a different point of view in terms of the sovereignty. Now, my understanding of 14.2a, it talks about that sovereignty belongs to the people. Yes, we are the people. It is important from that point of view, belongs to the people of Nigeria, from whom the government, through this constitution, derives its powers and authority. As a community, you can display. That's why I say to people, never go out and say that I'm a sovereign on my own. It will not work. You have to do that collectively. Exercise that as a community. That's why I always advocate that every community should have an independent local community association. Now, when you talk as a community, you are now exercising your powers of sovereignty. So there is a lot of similarity in what we're saying. Probably, there might be the perception of how we both see it, but you're right in one way, but in another way, I've always said, and I've always made sure that I always say that this thing of never going out on your own, I'm not sovereign, I have a right, what I say goes. No. You have to be in a community. So we are both right in that way. And thank you for pointing that out. And it gives me an opportunity to explain what sovereignty means. Going to specific, when I talk about that you are sovereign and you have the power, I need you to understand that there is a connection between you and the land. Okay? There's a connection between you and the land. You are born there, your roots are there, your ancestors, and all of that in your local language. Particularly people in local language need to understand their connection to the soil and the power that they possess as sovereigns on that land. So when I'm explaining that, there's a subtle difference. It is essentially the same thing, but it's trying to make sure people understand the connection to that land, connecting themselves, seeing the sovereignty in themselves, in their community. So well said, Roshka. I'm really glad that you pointed that out. So these are really important points that we're raising. Of course, we endeavor to explain this to people in local languages. Please, everybody watching this, share this. The protest, it is so important that you have that belief. That Section 39 is powerful. I will just add one thing. The court decision made in 2003 has made it in perpetuity that no police officer, no inspector general shall ever ask you for a permit, because there is that judgment in 2003 that states, and that's why you see me write it on here. And I'll move up. It is wrong for the council to the respondent IGP to insist that the applicants, let me see. So 1 second. I'll read it somewhere else. I've got it somewhere else. Give me 1 sec. I have it on somewhere. I'll read it. I'm trying to. So you can see behind me. So it is wrong for the council to the respondent IGP, that's the Inspector General of Police, to insist that applicants must obtain police permit before they can gather together for their peaceful protest. So it is wrong, and that has been the case since 2003, and it is in perpetuity. No, from then on, no Inspector General of Police can go against this. They can never challenge it. Neither any of the people's supporters or anybody else, not even the government, can change it. So that is the only thing I will add there. But everything that Roshka said there is, of course, true. So this is really important for us to say. Yes, Mark, Angel Kisses. Yeah, you're right. You notice that I try and speak about the Constitution in local languages. The reason why I'm speaking in English is in more English like this is because I want to make sure that this is about targeting all of Africa wide. So to be able to understand what we're saying, I need it in English first, then I will go into my local language. As you will hear me say now, I'm going to say the section 14.2a in Yoruba straight away to give an example of what I mean. In Yoruba language, the sovereignty belongs to people of Nigeria from whom the government through this constitution derives powers and authority. It goes like this in Yoruba. Abala kẹrin láìsẹ kejì a ìjọba jẹ́ ti àwọn ènìyàn Nàìjíríà láti ọ̀dọ̀ ní tìjọba nípasẹ̀ òfin orílẹ̀-èdè ìgbàgbọ́gbàgbára àti àṣẹ rẹ̀. So I always endeavor to make sure that the emphasis of what we're doing is at the local people and not local, at the Africans with their mother tongue, so that they have that knowledge base in their language. That is the best way to free Africa from the bondage that we're in. But of course, I agree. We have to get that balance right. And hopefully over time, we'll be speaking in our language on the African continent in the long run. But thank you very much for that anyway. So let us go to Africa for Africa 54. Declare. If anybody wants to chip in, you're welcome to chip in. Let me see if I've got one or two. I'll get in cable and I'll drop Ubuntu. Anybody who wants to chip in, you're welcome to chip in. Ben Livik, you're still around, and I'm glad that you're here. Okay. Verna, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes. Okay, so that means that we should not use the word, as the sister was saying earlier, about when you use provocative words.
Yes.
So that there's certain words you should not say.
Yes.
But,
Yeah. No leader, no organizer, no demonstration.
Exactly.
No protests,
Exactly.
because that all entails legal liability.
Yes.
Simply that you're a citizen of Nigeria exercising your
Yeah.
constitutional right to free
Yeah.
expression, opinion in the public space
Yeah.
from Section 39.
Exactly.
Chapter 4.
Exactly. So yeah. So
what has to be on our car, on those posters.
yeah.
That's
So
what has to be on the posters.
it will do.
As
Yeah.
the people talk, the more reason they have to attack.
Exactly. Roshka, thank you so much. He's dropped down now. Very, very good. So it is very, very, very important that we do those work. And this is applicable not only to Nigeria, this is applicable to all African countries. We need to begin to make sure that we empower our people to know their constitutional rights in their language, because that is a way to free them, free Africa from bondage. For so long, many people, they would go and, like I said before at the top of this broadcast, many people would, they will happily say, "Oh, I'm a Christian." But when you say you're a Christian, you are saying that you're a sinner. And when you say you're a sinner, that means that you are powerless. You are trying to seek forgiveness for crimes that you did not, for things you did not do, and it has nothing to do with you. When you say that you're a servant of Allah, and that means that you're saying that you're a slave to a God. Whereas the most important information you need to have, which is that you are sovereign, and collectively in your community, every member in that community collectively, they are sovereigns. You don't have that information, and that changes how you think about things. You see, when somebody makes you see yourself as a sinner, you cannot exercise your rights as a sovereign. When somebody makes you see yourself as as a slave to Allah, you cannot exercise your power as a sovereign. So when we talk about really challenging this concept of this religious concept on the African continent, it is really important to understand how damaging it has become to our prosperity as one of the richest planets on this earth in terms of mineral resources. And those religions have actually made us disconnect ourselves from those resources, and those who now use those same constitution to deprive us of our rights, and the religions are benefiting from what they have taken from us, because they made us see ourselves as not worthy to have our own resources in our own land. So this is really, really important that we understand that and begin to really work together to achieve this total independence for Africa. And we need to do that. But of course, listen, over time, I need you to understand, èmi ọmọ Yorùbá ni mí, Yorùbá pọ́nbélé. Tí n bá wọ aṣọ Yorùbá, mo wọ̀ pẹ̀lú iyì. Mo rántí àwọn alálẹ̀ wa, mo rántí ìṣẹ̀ṣe wa. Ọmọlúwàbí ni mí, ọmọ Yorùbá. Mo dẹ̀ ní ìwà, mo gbádùn ìwà wa, mo fẹ́ràn oúnjẹ wa, mo fẹ́ràn aṣọ wa. I'm talking to you in Yoruba language because I am in my core, I am Yoruba. In my core, it is just me. The connection is complete in me. And I would hope others will see that in themselves when it comes to the culture and the language. So that is ultimately, when we're going forward, that is what we want to achieve for each and every one. So I hope that makes sense. Let me see if Ben Livik, if you wanted to say something. Thank you very much for that, Vanna May. Thank you for that suggestion about having that on the posters. And we're going to be talking more, and we're following what's going on. So Ben Livik, let's hear from you. What would you like to say? Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you so much. You guys were just making great sense, and I was listening. You are very, very right. The fact that people should protest peacefully and no violence. And I think I made this. I said, if you think you can't control your feelings when you go out there, I encourage those ones to actually stay home. It's part of the civil disobedience. You understand? The whole reason why this awareness is going worldwide is to be able to reduce the level of havoc that might, come out of the protest. You understand? I think that's the main reason why we're doing it. At the same time, we still have to understand Nigerian system. The Nigerian system is totally different from the system in America, the system in London, any part of the world. It's the same. We have constitution, we have laws and all that. But the problem is implementing those laws. The problem we're having mostly, you understand, it's not just bad police system, it's not just bad, but the judiciary system. I said this in one of my stuff. I said, anytime the judiciary system have collapsed, the country is dead. You understand? Because the judiciary system is the one who upholds some of these laws that we are talking about.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
A common man, that is where the common man have hope. If I have issues and I go to, I'll be like, if I did not ask the question, how do we hold these people accountable? It's not holding them accountable by violence, though.
Yeah.
You understand that I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But the thing is, when I'm on my right, when I've done everything, when I've exercised every right that I have, you understand, who comes for me for my rescue? It should be the judiciary.
Yeah. Okay.
very, very good.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I can tell the police officer
Yeah.
oh, this is my right, or
Mhm.
this is quote all these laws, all right? Quote all this. When they violate this, sometimes they go scot-free.
Mhm.
All right? A
Mhm.
lot, I would say
Mhm.
80% of them go scot-free.
Mhm.
All right?
Mhm.
The ones that get checkmate is if you already know somebody to help fight for you. If you know somebody in the higher chambers or the system that can fight for you. But what we're doing is we're talking for the common man,
Mhm.
for the poor citizens,
Mhm.
for the ones that cannot even speak English.
Mhm. That's what I
All
mean.
right?
Yeah.
How can we secure their rights?
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
If the judiciary system is not well fixed.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. On that point that you just made now, how can we secure the rights? And that's why you hear me talk about the need for the community to have those powers in their language. When somebody knows their rights, you've had Roshka just said that the guy from Finland. When you know your rights in your language, nobody can deceive you. When you know the powers that you possess, nobody can deceive you, and even that will go, and that will filter into the judiciary as well. And because you can question everybody in the governance, those who are going to appoint judiciary, they are answerable to you. They are actually answerable to you as a community. You can call them into a town hall meeting and you actually demand that answers from them. Again, it's giving people that confidence. I know it looks, far fetched, but that is once accountability is in the system in terms of the politicians will dare not go against that accountability because they will have to be accountable and they have to face the consequences because the people are now aware and exercising their rights as citizens. It's not going to be easy, don't get me wrong, but that system is there. Now, we, the people, to make it work, we have to begin to monitor our governors. And how we do that? Further, when this protest is ended, I would.
Ben, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You've mentioned that before about all of the many changes that need to be made.
Yeah.
However, for a journey of 1,000 miles,
It's a few steps. You have to take steps.
with the first step.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So this is just step one.
Exactly.
The protesters are already aware
Exactly.
that they need to be peaceful.
Mm.
If any harm comes to anybody,
Yeah.
it's time to disperse.
Yeah. And also on that point,
Understood. But
yeah. Sorry, on that point, please make sure that if you have,
there's a lot of changes that need to be
yeah,
made.
yes, thank you. Absolutely. You're right, Linda. Just make sure anybody going to the protest, make sure you have doctors and nurses around to be able to manage, or if there's anything to do with sudden medical emergency. So if as far as possible, all of the protests must happen in all states. So
Live,
you know as,
send it to a lawyer.
exactly. So
Citizen,
yes,
citizens.
yes, go ahead, just Chris, go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the point that Ben Live made is a really good point as well, and I think it's important that the people who are listening, because like it or not, there are a lot of people who have that fear at the back of their mind.
That's
Like when I said I was calling people today,
yes,
people are saying today, oh, we know the right, and they can, and it's good for them to learn all of that, but they'll be afraid that even the police themselves, once you're even telling them that, some of them don't even know the constitution.
exactly, and
They
it,
don't care, and they're just gonna act. They're gonna act like the usual
usual way.
lawlessness way. So, and I suppose that's why this platform has been so good in enlightening and not only just giving them the knowledge about their right in the constitution, but also telling them how to protect each other.
That's it.
Because once they have each other, once they're not doing it just one person going out and telling the police by themselves this and that, we already know what they can bring to us from past experience,
Exactly.
what they're capable of doing, and
Exactly.
that's why there's been a lot of encouragement here
Exactly.
to tell people to go out in team,
Yeah.
in groups, minding each other, recording everything that's happening, making sure that there's no, one person doesn't leave themselves vulnerable in that kind of way. So it's about communities protecting each other. It's about working together as a team and not allowing the people to, because like you said, Ben, if they go and even and they get something happen
Thank you. Well said.
Yes.
Everything you said there is so true. Honestly, well said. And Ben Livik.
See, no guarantee.
Ben Livik.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay. Carry on.
It is very, very good what we're doing, and I will thank everybody here. You know, um, forget about my voice initially, but I have to sound. I have to be able to sound the same way to communicate the message.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Mm-hmm.
We're all learning.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The whole goal is to make sure that everybody understands their right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right to freedom. We
Yeah.
all have to be free.
Yeah.
We cannot be free when we die.
Mm.
Only way we don't have to die to be
Speak
free.
that friendly language,
Yeah.
please.
Friend,
I'm sorry, my bad.
on
My
alive.
bad. I'm sorry.
On alive. Yeah.
Yeah. We don't have to be unalive before we can get freedom.
Exactly.
All right, we can
Yeah.
actually get freedom if we know our right. But another thing we have to emphasize a lot is to be able to, how do we make the judiciary? I don't care about the police.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about the army.
Mm.
If our judiciary system can work the right way,
Mm.
all right,
Mm.
an army man who follows the law can actually get prosecuted.
Exactly.
The police officer who falls can actually get prosecuted. So I feel like the most important place we should hold is the judiciary system.
Exactly.
It needs to be changed because it doesn't matter how right I am if I go to the court, maybe because of my ethnicity or something, and the judiciary already know the big boss.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And they take good care of the judiciary, and I'm being sentenced for something, that I think I was right, and nobody can speak for me. So the same way we're talking about unity, I feel like this because I'm seeing other country, different people from different countries in this platform. All right, if we all can come together and stand together too to hold these people accountable. If they run to your state and they commit crime as a politician and they come to your country to hide or something, it is important that even from your country, if you can hold them accountable for us, you understand? And when they know that they commit something, they don't have any hiding place.
Fantastic.
All right? And
Fantastic.
then they will think twice, and they will start doing the right job. All right?
Thank you.
And today we will not come out to converse for Biafra or converse for anything. If I can go to another man's country and say I want to be citizen, if Nigeria is good, I might as well forget about Biafra. You understand? The reason why most of us is conversing for Biafra is because of this injustice.
Yes.
And for a long time, it looks like a lot of people don't have the balls to come out and speak up. But now that everybody's speaking up, I can see so many people is feeling the same feelings. You understand that? And Igbo man have been feeling. That's why they say they are not coming out to protest. All right? So now that everybody's feeling the same way, feeling the same marginalization, the same pain, hunger, you understand? Maybe we are speaking in the same voice. And I want to use this platform, please, this opportunity, to ask everyone to, at the same time, speak for the release of Nnamdi Kanu.
Okay,
Because
no problem.
as long as that man is in the station, all right, as long as he's in the station, Southeast will not be able to recover. Because
Okay.
the Southeast have actually put their trust in that man who spoke for them. The same way AY is speaking for the entire Africa. All right? And if Southeast is not in good shape, Nigeria will not be in good shape. And if Nigeria is not in good shape, Africa will not be in good shape.
Exactly. Exactly.
So, Mr. Ben,
Wow.
Mr. Ben, I
Thank
think
you.
the consensus is that we all over the globe are mistreated. And I've said this before, that when people in this country are mistreated, they all have a country to go home to. If an Italian is mistreated, they can go back to Italy. If a Chinese is mistreated, they can go back to China. But for the black people here in America, where can we go?
Yeah.
So if I want to go home, because Africa is my home, I want to see my home thriving
Yes.
and doing well.
Yes.
I realize there are a lot of problems. There is no problem-free place nowhere. But some of these problems are just ridiculous and can be fixed. They can and they will. But it's a whole long
Exactly.
You've mentioned some of the problems that need to go on the list, but we gotta start. And when I say we to the motherland, I'm talking about my home.
Yes.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
have to start somewhere.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
the beginning, the accountability meetings is a beginning. Once the meetings are established on a regular basis, you can start crossing off things on the list
Exactly.
because the list is very long.
Yeah.
You could probably stay here all day talking about all the things that
No.
need to be done.
No. Yeah. You're right.
Today, we just need to get started.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for that. So, Ben Levick, thank you so much for that. Of course, there will be time for discussion about the specific things, but the protest is obviously what we're looking at, and how we are going to actually make sure the people focus their energy to begin to really hold their governance to account. We want people to participate. It is really important. If we don't participate in that process and begin to hold them to account, we are going to be in the same spot in the next few weeks. Literally, we're back to the square one. So we have to put this thing in there. We need to empower people from within the community to begin to feel that power and use it within the community. It's like we're trying to teach them how to fish themselves. We don't want to give them fish anymore. We want them to fish themselves, to know the skills and the manners and how they can do that, and they can begin to actually address the concerns of lack of infrastructure in their own community, and even the issue of the judiciary they can resolve in that way. But let me, before I go and before I wrap up, let me bring in Gloria Oponya. She's from Kenya. She is a very, very good friend of the house. She has ideas and suggestions that can help with the protest as well. Gloria, thank you for waiting. I have been looking out for you to make sure you could contribute and give us suggestions. Welcome on board. Let's hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody in here.
Thank you.
I want to start by the announcement. We are going to have the final mega huge protest. And the theme is Nane.
Ha.
And
Nane.
we're having the final planning for it. So get ready, be ready, put on your shoes as usual, everything, be ready. So to
Wow.
move on to the point,
Yeah.
this is not the struggle to give up.
No.
It's not something we can achieve one day. Don't let money that they're going to give you today be something that will cover your highs. Okay? You still have future. That's its highs is still hoping widely. So you need to work, think twice before you eat that money. If you have capacity to hit that money, eat it, but then let your highs be hoping. We are tired.
Yeah.
People are tired.
Yeah.
We need a big change in Africa. We need a huge change in Africa. This is the
Absolutely.
time for Gen Z to give the young people advice that you see, this planet we were once here, but things didn't go as we planned. This is the time for us to show you what to do, to give you what to do, how to do it, and you guys need to accept it. Then another thing I want to do, I want to say, it's like Ruto been saying that that Gen Zs have turned to be opposition, so they are fighting for in a political way. He didn't know that these people are the ones that rejected, because he offered them like a free ticket and a free everything, you know. But it can't meet the demand of people, you know. If we said 100 or 10 billion youth of Africa, of Nigeria, go away from Kenya, who are you going to deal with? Who are you going to be the president to them? Who will be the president to them? And who will be the people on the ground? We don't need to run away from our country. We love our country like that. But we need you to think right before you come on your ground to say something about the youth. You failed to plan for them for not even a period of years in office. Now what do you want? We just want you to leave, period. And please resign Ruto. For Nigerian people, I want to appreciate every little to go there for the first time. But I believe as they plan, keep on planning and keep on planning, I believe things will get on. I believe they will catch up on the way. I believe they will, a lot of people will come. A lot of people will come. Right now, there's this fear that, hey, what will I eat tomorrow? Hey, children, this, hey, children, that. But when that time comes, they will stand on their feet and they will run for it in that ground. So I'm still have strong feeling that a lot will be changed in Nigeria.
Ashe.
Then, this one is going out to every African that are living in diaspora. As we speak of today, yesterday I remember was here when I told you that I was taking my papoose somewhere. Things were not okay. I had a bit. We had a call from one of my family member. He's saying that the government of that country was having a huge deportation back to Africa or back to wherever you come from. Okay, and that is Canada.
So there is a huge deportation. Hang on, there's a huge deportation going on in Canada right now.
Yes, as I speak.
Wow.
Right now.
Wow.
If you have money, if you don't have anything that you're doing, remember these people are the people that sold their land, that refused to work. They left their jobs. Okay, they said life is better in Canada, but now where will they stay if they're back in Africa? For those who sold their land, where will you stay when you're back in Africa? That's a very big mess we need to learn, and it's a big lesson to us who are still planning. You don't need to sell land, and I keep telling people don't sell your land. You can start it on your own and still progress somehow. But then, if you're there in that country, particular country, and you hear that there will be the huge deportation, try your best to move to another country. Don't allow them to deport you. If you have access to family that got your back, try your best to
go there.
move to another, relocate. Yeah, you can go back after maybe. Yeah. So for people in Canada, you're welcome back home, because I heard that it's all about Nigerians and Indians that are going to be deported back. So if the Nigerians, we're saying brothers, welcome back, okay? Don't forget to visit some other African country next time. Not only every country that are not within Africa a good country for you to get money. No, the value for money might be high, but we are proud of our own money in every country in Africa. Though their values are not high, we are proud of them like that. And sometimes think twice before you leave something. Okay? This, like, one of my family member was a doctor. Good work, good thing, but when this issue of Canada thing started, he left the work just like that to go to Canada to look for a better life. He thought that things was going to be well as he planned, but no, he didn't go as he planned. You see, think twice. And these people are the people of PhD, are the people with a high qualification. You get. And if they're coming back like this, it's really a total big shame.
Yeah.
It's really a big shame on us. We need to think twice. People in the community still need your qualification to work on them. And if you're good to them, it means you're going somewhere with your life. It's not the beginning, it's not the ending. You know, the little money we have here in Africa, it's enough to feed the entire family we have as well. So let's be proud of ourselves at some point. So for my brothers who are still struggling out, who are still, be proud of yourself and be proud of who you are. For those who travel maybe by ocean, maybe by what, by boat, by cargo, by wherever you're making it in life big, appreciate yourself for that. And we appreciate you for doing that. But then never look back, never look down on people at home. You never know, they might be very important at some point to your life as well. So let me stop there.
Wow. Thank you.
Um,
Very good idea. Thank you. Okay, Chris, C, I'm sorry, C Joseph, go ahead. Go ahead. You want to say thank you, Gloria. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
thanks, Gloria. Isn't it even like good that we are talking about how we can start to fight in our own land and try to maybe not fight, but to even ask for our own right in our land and try to make Africa better? Because how long are we going to be treated like this? How long are we going to be the ones running after, producing, like our schools are producing all this talent and skills, and we are exporting them? And then even that value we're not getting, because at the end of the day, we are Africa continent is not only losing skills and talents and human capital, we are also losing our resources. Somebody was
Indeed.
saying, I saw one of a Kenyan a person as well during their protest was saying
Mm.
they listed all the companies that are in Africa and are exporting resources, and he said, just one specific question: a cup of coffee in any part of Europe costs how much? He said, and how much do they pay the farmers in Africa to harvest this
Coffee.
cocoa that they use for coffee?
Yeah.
Children in Africa, some of them don't even eat chocolate. They can't afford chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
But the place they get the product that they use for chocolate, that is very common here in Europe, is from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
unjust and the unfairness is just too much.
Mm.
But we can't go there until we deal with the issue that is in our hand, in our own land. And that's why it's so significant that people are out today in Nigeria trying to ask for this right. And I hope that even as people listening, that this will even motivate them. That these kind of stories that are coming will continue to motivate them. And I think that it's not only that Europeans have to teach us these lessons. I think our ancestors are also making us go through all of this so we can learn for once and say,
Mm.
why leave your own place? Why
Mm.
always abandon your own things and
Mm.
go into be a slave where
Mm.
you can be a master?
Mm.
So until we learn, we will continue to be treated the way that we are.
Mm.
Until we learn to go and use our talent and our skills for our land and for our people. Until we stop exporting every single good thing that we have, including ourselves, our brain and everything. Until we start to use it for the land that raised us, the land that bred us, then we probably won't get a resting place. So I think it's a good thing and more motivation for the people that are out in Nigeria today to keep fighting, to just keep fighting, because it's the only way that this thing can ever change. We continue like this for the next 100 years.
Mhm.
If we don't keep on with this fight,
Mhm.
we won't
Hey,
change.
don't
So,
use the word
thank you.
fight.
Um.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
well,
We.
with the, yeah, I don't
Uh,
know.
well,
With the, yeah, just doing the
we
right
continue to
thing, I
push
suppose.
for improvement in our quality of life and the betterment of our people. So yeah, yeah. I get what you mean though.
Absolutely.
I get what you mean. Thank you so much. Well
I'm
said.
gonna drop now anyway.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you so
everybody.
much.
Bye.
Listen, I've been in touch. Yeah. Send me an WhatsApp. I'll add you to WhatsApp. See Joseph. I need to. Yeah. We need to chat some more. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. Okay. All things Marina. Thank you for joining. I wanted to tell me more. I want you to tell me more about the Canada situation that Gloria mentioned. Because I noticed you mentioned that. Would you like to talk about that? Welcome on board. Let's hear from you. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Hi, good evening,
Good
everyone, or good afternoon, wherever you are.
evening. Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to say yes, they are in fact finding reasons to deport people back to their home country. I've
Wow.
had an experience with a friend who is going through that, and he had to take it to court to try and fight them.
Hmm.
He had no severe criminal
Because.
record or anything like that, and he got a letter from Canada Border Services saying that they wanted to deport him back to his homeland.
Hmm.
And he had never been to prison. He had
He
Mm-hmm.
has been here for over 20 years.
Wow.
And he just got this letter out of the blue saying that, hey, you need to appear before, the tribunal and plead your case. And yeah, it was a long, you know, tedious battle that he had to go through. And it's not just him. You've heard other people talking about them just getting letter
Mm-hmm.
out of the blue from Canada Border Services saying that they need to appear for a hearing because of deportation order for one reason or another. So
Mm.
in fact, it is true, and
Wow.
especially if you're here, like a lot of Indians especially will come and through the student route,
Mm-hmm.
and then they will want to try to stay, and then they're getting denied left, right, and center
Mm-hmm.
because they're realizing that this is a route that a lot of people tend to want to take,
Mm-hmm.
and they're clamping down on it. And
Mm.
one of my, like, what breaks my heart is when people sell everything they have back home just to come here, believing that it's going to be a better life and it's going to be, streets paved with gold. And then to run up in a situation like this years down the road,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have nothing to go back home to, that's what really breaks my heart. But
Mm.
yeah, in fact, as the young lady said, they are actually sending out letters to people
Hmm.
unbeknownst to them, just saying, hey, appear before, border protection agencies or Canada Border Services because you have a hearing upcoming for a deportation order. So yeah,
Wow.
it's true.
Wow. You see, these are the kind of. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. And what are your how?
And
Yeah.
Welcome.
Go ahead. Go ahead,
please,
Gloria.
wanted to add, and not only that, I mean, this category will also include the students, okay? Because it's going to be huge in the history of entire world. They're expecting like about 70,000 deportation. If you're among them, go
Wow.
back home. If you're from Africa right now, go back home and fight for your country. We need you. For Gen Z, Aluta, huh?
Yes, Aluta
Guys,
continua.
on 8th of
Victoria Santa.
August, okay, we are having a massive, okay,
Mm.
we are going to shut down, total shutdown
Wow.
of Kenya, massive one.
Wow.
We are saying that take your shit home.
Mm.
Enough is enough.
Mm.
We don't need any more. We have come actually as opposition right now.
Mm.
All Gen Zs, they're like opposition.
Mm.
We need our space.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
Ruto must go.
Yes.
Even if you want or not, Ruto must
Go.
go.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Very emphatic message. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, fantastic. I think we're gonna be winding down now. I need to have a bit of a break, and I'm gonna watch what's going on in terms of the updates and on ground. I want to thank all things for that updates as well. And Gloria, thank you for actually raising this issue. You see, this discussion about this deportation, the absolute huge amount of people, 70,000 Africans will be deported from Canada, from what Gloria is saying, and that's been backed up by what all things Nadine said. Maria, what she said there. We have to be aware of it. We need to be looking for information about anything relating to all Africans on the planet, literally on the planet. Literally, we have to be looking out for each other, because in that way we can begin to build our own plans. If people are taking our resources away and then preventing us from actually going to those places to benefit from those resources, we might as well make sure that we now make sure that our homeland it suits our needs. It gives us information. It gives us this purpose to really go forward. Thank you very much, Mark Angel. So we have to continue this process. We need to be seeking information that is going to improve us and enlighten us and give us awareness about our rights on our continent within our community. You cannot get that information outside. This kind of information that we're sharing on this platform, you won't get it on BBC or channels or channels or any of those platforms. We need to begin to really invest in our own community in terms of the time, the social media, and all of that. So this is what is really important for us to understand here. We are all we got. I want to thank everybody. All things, Nadine, Gloria, as ever, thank you. Linda, the moderator, thank you. Ben Livick, thank you so much. Verna May, wow. Listen, you guys, thank you so much. And everybody on the panel that's been leaving comments, I'm really grateful. Please, we must support Gen Z. 8th of August is the day. Watch out for what's happening in Kenya. The Gen Zs, they're going for total shutdown. I will just add one thing. I know there might be a slight difference here. I do reiterate, family, that there is in the constitution it doesn't talk about that, but I think it's been mentioned now. The peaceful protest, it is an actual word that the courts have actually accepted to be the case, specifically in Nigeria. I didn't know about this until I saw that report and I read it back from 2003. So we need to use that. But as always, whatever you're going to use, you have to be peaceful. Peaceful. People can say demonstration. If you're comfortable with that, that's fine. But in law, nobody has the right to ask you for a permit for a peaceful protest, because it says, and the words they talked about, that it is not right for the police to demand that people obtain police permit before they gather for their peaceful protest. And that is the words literally said by the judge in the case. And that case is for perpetuity, which means that it can never ever be changed for as long as we have Nigeria. No court on any land can change it, because it is a judgment that the IGPs or whoever in future, they have no right to even challenge that. Very, very important. So please share. Ben Livich, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm really glad. So I'm going to have a break now. Thank you to you all. It's such a pleasure.
Yeah,
And
thank you so much to
Yeah, go
my
ahead.
Kenyans
Yes,
again.
yes,
Okay, stay
yes,
tuned to everybody.
yes,
Go follow everybody
yes,
from. Actually, right now on Twitter we have Nene Match
yes.
to Must
I'll,
Go.
I'll have a look at
Okay,
that. I'll have that.
just go there, type
Yes,
hashtag
yes,
Nene,
yes.
then Match,
Yeah.
then it's hashtag Root to Must
Go.
Go. You will find Twitter.
Yes.
It's giving people opportunity to share their simple advice or giving any sort of
Yeah.
things it's better
Yeah.
for Kenyan right now.
Yeah.
So go there.
Yeah. Yes.
Twitter space is available for everybody.
It is,
And as
indeed.
well, you can join people,
Yeah.
streamers from. There are some group of people on
Yeah.
YouTube
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
You can go there and they're using Gen Z as their logo.
Yeah.
So you can participate there.
Exactly.
Let's hear from everyone.
Yes.
As well as here in TikTok.
Yes, exactly.
These people, we need this one.
Exactly.
We need to pull down, okay?
Exactly.
If we do this one, I believe I will move to Nigeria.
Absolutely. And you're welcome. And you're welcome. And you're welcome.
Please, come one, come all on 8th.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, and Ben Livick, if you wanted to say one of two words before you go, you're of course welcome. And of course, and I'll let Verna close out, and then we can round up. Go ahead, Ben Livick.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you, Citizen AY.
Thank you.
Like I said, I just followed you.
Thank you.
And I hope you follow back. And
Yeah.
we need to be able to continue this awareness.
Yeah.
All right, to every one of us.
Ashe.
Nigeria must rise.
Ashe.
And Africa must stand.
Ashe. Ashe.
Africa must be powerful.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
And so we can welcome all other colors into our own land.
Ashe.
The same way
Ashe.
we travel into everybody's country.
Yes.
We want people to come and experience the goodness of Africa.
Absolutely.
The goodness of Nigeria.
Absolutely.
But they cannot experience that unless we have a conducive environment.
Yes.
We thank you again, and we thank everybody that is in this platform to express their own opinion.
Yes.
God bless you all.
Ashe. Ashe. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay.
I want to go now. I'm going to go.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Linda.
I just want to say this was a great combo as usual. I think you have converted a few people again as usual.
Thank you.
However, I don't think you ought to invite the enemy to dinner. That is never a good idea.
I, I,
That's
I,
what they did to the Indians.
I get you. I get you. I
That's
get
not
you.
good.
I get you. Okay.
Don't
Okay.
invite them to dinner. They are not invited to the barbecue. Did
Okay.
you not just hear what she said they're doing in Canada?
Yes.
And
Yes.
then you want to turn around and invite them to the barbecue?
No.
No.
Okay. Good point.
Let's
Good point.
make Africa better.
Good
Let's
point.
make Africa better for this generation and the next generation.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Linda. Well said. I'll take that advice on strongly. Strongly. Okay. Let me do this. Okay. We're gonna close out with Verna. Verna May. Let's. You can close out. I'll silence mute Ben. Okay. Verna May, go ahead. Verna May, would you like to say something before we go? I don't know if she's there. Verna May, can you hear me? Okay. I don't know if she can hear me. Verna May. Aha. Go ahead. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. We hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you everyone here. Great session. Fantastic ideas. We learned a lot today. We came together more, and we're ready to keep moving.
Ashe.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
So
Okay. We'll be in
have a
touch.
great time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. 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 All. So for now, everybody that's about to join now, thank you. We're rounding up. I'll try and see if we can play the video again. You can watch this whole video all over on my channel on YouTube. Go to Citizen Airway. You can watch the entire thing on YouTube. Great news. I'll be in touch with you, Miss Anyofe. We're just rounding up now, but we'll be in touch. Please do share. And, thank you to you all. For now, I bid you all a pleasant evening. And we're back again in due course. Thank you and bye for now. Please don't forget, subscribe to us on both YouTube and TikTok and help us gift our platform to help us grow. We have a lot of work to do to translate Constitution into various languages in all 54 African countries. With together, we are doing this. We're already doing it. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Bye for now. Bye for now. Okay. And okay. So that is on TikTok. We're done on that now. We've closed TikTok. I want to thank everybody that's been following us here on YouTube as well. Thank you so very much. Please share this broadcast, and you can share this, and you can rewatch the whole program from beginning to end, and you can get to understand what's been discussed. And I hope you found it informative. We support the protest. I want to just state that it is the court judgment in 2003 is for perpetuity, and it states that it is wrong for the council to the respondent IGP to insist that applicants must obtain police permit before they can gather together for their peaceful protest. That was the ruling in 2003, and that guarantees you the right to peacefully protest. I add, you have the right to peacefully protest. Let us make sure we do that. I'll be back later on. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to Citizen AY on YouTube. Hit notification button. Give us thumbs up. Help us reach more people. And we welcome super chats and gifts as well. So once more time, we would love you to please go ahead and subscribe to Citizen AY. Hit the notification button. And of course, give us a thumbs up. I'm going to have a bit of a rest and we'll come back again later on. For now, I bid you all a pleasant afternoon, evening, and enjoy. And we'll come back and do this again in shortly. We'll be giving you updates in terms of the protest as it's going on or any news that we hear. Thank you so very much. For now, you're listening to Season L, the platform where we speak truth power. Thank you and